This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska. This broadcast is presented by Currency. Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? Visit gocurrency.com. And by Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose. Find out more at libertyfirstcu.com.
Tonight's officials, we have Pappas, umpire is Mike Sheet. Lineman is Scott Oler. Darren Mueller. And the back judge is Jason Bukowski.
I'm Jake Bartecki. Great to have you with us tonight on News Channel Nebraska. Now, Andy, these two teams kind of in different directions. Crete is on the cusp of clinching the playoffs. Beatrice has to win these next two to even sniff the playoffs, sitting at 1-6. But anything can happen in a rivalry game.
You're absolutely right. And another thing that leads to that is the athletes that both teams possess. Beatrice has always had great athletes, and you see that in the multiple sports that a lot of these guys play. Their baseball team, basketball teams, the traditions they have across the board. Same can be said for Crete, though.
Let's take a look at a couple of our key players for tonight's ball game. First for the Orangemen, wide receiver Trey Heading, long, lengthy kid, 6'4", only 170 pounds, but boy, he can high point the football.
Yeah, he's a big play guy, averaging about 26 yards per catch. He's also a red zone threat. Big guy, already has 3 touchdowns on the season. You mentioned his frame, 6'4". You can see why the Orangemen like to get him the ball through the air.
And for Crete, Cesar Linares, their star player. What's that? Oh, gotcha. So Cesar Linares is their running back and fullback. He can block, he can run. He's a hard-nosed runner, and he definitely can find the end zone.
Linares, Cesar Linares. He sounds like a Greek god. He totes the rock like a local legend. I'll tell you what, you mentioned his size. He runs with power. Let's see, 8 touchdowns, 6 yards per carry. A lot of times you see a guy like that, they're kind of shifty. This guy will put it right on you like a bull in a china shop.
And it's been surprising with these two teams. Beatrice has come into this one 1-6. I think a little more of a struggle this season than people would have expected, and probably not to the surprise of Crete fans or their players, but 4-2, two teams heading in different directions.
But against a common opponent in Elkhorn North, really got the better of both these teams. And you mentioned going in different directions. It's really going to be interesting to see how Beatrice came off kind of a lopsided loss last week to a very talented Norris team. On the other side, Crete won a really gritty game. I was impressed with that against Pius. So how will these two teams respond? Kind of like you mentioned, going in different directions.
Norris topped Beatrice 63-20 last week. Crete won a shootout with Pius 30-26, as Andy mentioned. More of the pregame is coming up. Crete and Beatrice tonight on NCN.
After 77 years of serving Lincoln, what else is there to say other than thank you for making our family-owned business part of your family? Everyday life and style are what LG appliances are designed for. During Schaefer's 77th anniversary, you can take advantage of LG rebates, free local delivery, and up to 36 months interest-free financing to improve your family's lifestyle with LG. Schaefer's, your local, family-owned tradition for 77 years.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Crete Public Schools, home of the Cardinals, Kansas Safe Pharmacy in Crete, and by City Bank and Trust, located in Crete, member FDIC.
Talk with Beatrice head coach Jeff Keisher. Coach, it hasn't been the year that you guys have hoped for, but 2 rivalry games in a row. What's been the message to the team to finish the year strong?
You know, we got our last home game here. We've got 17 great seniors who are great young men, and we just talked about up at the school here a little bit ago that this is going to be the last time this team, 2023 Beatrice Orangemen football team, takes the field, and what better way to end it against a rivalry, a rival with Crete.
Crete game last year, you guys won 42-14. What can you take away from that one into this season?
You know, Crete's had a great year this year. They've had 2 crazy ends to the game, one against Lexington where they won with a Hail Mary, and then last week Pius was going in to win and fumbled it in the end zone. So, 4-2, this has been one of the strongest Crete team in some recent years, and we're going to have to come ready to play. It'll be a good game for us tonight.
So you mentioned the senior night, but one of the other deals you have going on, you can see the pink jerseys behind here, pink out night. What's that tradition kind of meant to you? What have you learned about it in your 3 years as the head coach? Because a lot of pink in the building here for breast cancer awareness.
Yeah, the kids have done a great job with this. The community has really rallied around this. This was something that was brought in with Kevin Meyer a few years ago to raise money for people in the community, and we've raised tens of thousands of dollars with tonight's game that we give out to somebody in the community or a family who's going through cancer or recovering through cancer. So it is a great cause. It's great to see the kids in the school and rally behind it, but the community and helping people who need it.
All right, Coach, best of luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
That's Beatrice head coach Jeff Keiser. We have Beatrice and Crete coming up on NCN.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
The pregame show is brought to you by Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple always. And by Custom Sports. Check them out at CustomSportsCo.com.
Your journey by starting at a Speedy Mart store near you. From the small communities in Nebraska to the larger cities, the staff at Speedy Marts are ready to serve you with food, fuel, and rewards. Save 5 cents per gallon with the Fuel Your Journey fill-up plus additional bonus savings. Download the app for mobile pay, offering customers the highest quality branded food and treats, fresh, ready, and convenient. Check out SpeedyMart.com for locations and job opportunities.
Talking with the head coach of the Crete Cardinals, Mr. Mark Newmeyer. Coach, this has been a great year for you guys. 4-2 coming in this year. Probably not a surprise to you, but to others it might be. What's been the key this season?
Just a bunch of seniors who won't give up. We played till the final whistle, and they've led our team through camp and up to this point, and we're going to lean on them again tonight.
This is an interesting rivalry. It's a big rivalry for Southeast Nebraska. I mean, counties that border each other. What have you learned about the Beatrice and Crete rivalry throughout the years?
It's important to a lot of people. Our job tonight, though, is to make it a rivalry again. You know, we were talking on the way down here. Since this place has been built, they don't know if they've won down here, and I haven't been at every game. But it's our job tonight to make it a rivalry again and try to get one back in the win column.
So 4-2 coming into the game tonight. How do you guys finish this year strong, looking ahead to the playoffs? I'm sure your focus is on tonight, but good start to the year. How do you finish it?
It starts with tonight. It's about the Orange Men tonight. They pose some matchup issues just because of their size and their spark plug at quarterback. So tonight is about tonight, and then we'll roll with those things as they come.
All right, that's Crete head coach Mark Newmeyer, Beatrice, and the Cardinals coming up on NCN.
A new year, a fresh start, a resolution to grow more, gain more, give more. The process is the same: plant, grow, harvest. But the way you do it is always evolving. And so are we, Aurora Cooperative. Grow, gain, give. Aurora and you.
Welcome back to the House of Orange. A nice, crisp, cool evening for football tonight in Beatrice. Let's take a look now at our school spotlight, brought to you in part by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items? Then Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. Beatrice High School, the site for tonight, 12,209 in the county of Gage. 507 students at BHS, 263 boys, 244 girls. They are the Orangemen. The Crete Cardinals on the other side of our school spotlight tonight, just over 7,100 at Crete. They're in Saline County, of course, you mentioned it. It's Crete, Saline County against Beatrice, Gage County, enrollment of 530. A little bit more of a boy population there at Crete High School than girls, and then the mascot is the Cardinals. More of the pregame show is coming up as we get ready for Beatrice and Crete on NCN.
After 77 years of serving Lincoln, what else is there to say other than thank you for making our family-owned business part of your family? Everyday life and style are what LG appliances are designed for. During Schaefer's 77th anniversary, you can take advantage of LG rebates, free local delivery, and up to 36 months interest-free financing to improve your family's lifestyle with LG. Schaefer's, your local, family-owned tradition for 77 years.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
There you see the pink out, the Beatrice student section donned in pink here for what is senior night, parents night, breast cancer awareness night here at the House of Orange. Let's take a look at the starters as the Orangemen make their way towards the tunnel to take the field here to the Beatrice faithful. This Beatrice offense that we're going to talk about, 9 points per game, 204 yards per game, 68 through the air, 136 on the ground. All seniors on the offensive line. Takeo Glenn at left tackle. Left guard is Jacob Scholl. The center is Blake Berkey. The right guard, Gage Walter. The right tackle, Silas Benson. The receivers, Trey Henning, talked about him in the pregame show, 26 yards per catch, a trio of touchdowns on the year for the senior wideout. Luke Hamilton on the other side, another big play threat there. And then Taylor Schaaf, whose only touchdown is his only reception on the season. Crew Mintz is the quarterback, 40% through the air, 37 of 92, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. He can run the ball, averaging 4.5 yards per carry with 4 touchdowns. The running back looks to be Merrick Johnson, a sophomore, the only sophomore in the starting lineup for Beatrice on offense or defense, 5.5 yards per carry. The tight end, Alex Busboom, 5 receptions for 55 yards. For the Crete defense that comes into this one, pretty tough, but they are susceptible to the big play. The only safety in the formation will be Theo Bowling, a senior. The corners are Oscar Ortiz, Connor Crummy. On the inside linebacker spot, Quinlan Vondra, Angel Martinez. The outside linebackers, Owen Heath, Cesar Linares. And then the defensive line, it's a good one. Juan Miguel, a junior, on the outside left. On the outside right, Logan Bessler, a sophomore. And Carter Tews, the senior, on the inside at nose guard. Had a pick 6 last week against Pius. So, Andy, an interesting matchup. I'm really intrigued about what the offensive line for Beatrice is going to look like against a young but physical defensive line for Crete.
Well, if there's ever a night for them to shine, it is tonight. You mentioned all seniors across that offensive line in the bright pink breast cancer awareness jerseys. It's senior night as well. Yeah. If there's ever a time, this is a rivalry game, senior night, homecoming, the whole 9 yards, Jake. And throw on top of it, you mentioned the cross-county rivalry here. These two teams know each other well. So many people in southeast Nebraska are tuned into this one.
Let's take a look at this Crete offense. 4-2 on the season, 23 points per game, 234 yards per game, 110 through the air, 124 on the ground. Very balanced attack for Mark Neumeyer's group. From left to right on the offensive line, 3 juniors, 2 seniors. Zach Connell, a senior at left tackle. Julian Mendez, a junior at left guard. The center is Everett Heath. He's a junior. Also a junior at right guard is Quinlan Vondra. The right tackle senior is Juan Miguel. The wide receivers, Carson Kodal, Theo Bowling, and then Kenson Space. The running back, of course, we talked about him, Cesar Linares. The quarterback is Reese Verton, 40% through the air, 4 touchdowns, 5 picks. Logan Bessler will be the cruiser. We'll step aside. We'll get a look at the rest of the starting lineups after this. Pre-game festivities underway. High school football night on NCN.
It's pretty hard to find quicker service, nicer people, or anyone who cares more when filling your prescriptions in Kin's Pharmacy in Crete. After all, the drive-thru makes your wait time minimal, and Kin and Carrie are reliable pharmacists. It's so much more. Helpful advice, accurate refills, and a large selection of over-the-counter products. So don't just take my word for it. Try Kin's Pharmacy for yourself, whether it's in the drive-thru, inside, or with mail-out service, because Kin's use Save Health Mart Pharmacy to care for you. Kin's Pharmacy in Crete, caring for you and about you.
What does farming mean to you? For most, it's hard work, dedication, and livelihood. Unfortunately, that also comes with risk. At Nebraska Crop Insurance in Beatrice, they know the non-stop dedication involved to keep your family protected from that risk and ensure their livelihood. Not only do they know everything about the coverage you need, they're also farmers themselves. So protect what means the most to you with the agent who knows what it means to be a farmer. Nebraska Crop Insurance, 615 Dorsey Street in Beatrice.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
Pre-game tonight has been brought to you in part by Columbus Motor Company, your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, as well as Custom Sports. Look great for every game with custom team or business apparel from Custom Sports. You can check them out at customsports.com. So Andy Klassen getting ready to go here. First off, got to ask you, what do you think of the pink jerseys?
You're not going to miss them. They are bright. They're making a statement. But like head coach Keiser mentioned during his pregame interview, it's all for a really good cause, something you can get behind, so I'm fired up.
All right, we talked a little bit before the break about that Crete offense. Let's take a look at who they're going to go up against, the Beatrice defense. 32 points allowed last year. That's up a little bit this year. 42.4 allowed, just 1 sack and 2 turnovers on the year. From left to right on the defensive line, a group of seniors, Jacob Scholl at end. The other defensive end is Gage Walter, the nose guard. It'll be a switch between Takeo Glenn and Silas Benson. The corners, Trey Henning, 11 pass breakups on the year. We mentioned his ability to high point the football as a receiver. He can do it as a corner as well. Luke Hamilton will be the other cornerback. The safeties, Crew Mintz and Gavin Vanover. Mintz last year in Beatrice's 42-14 win over the Cardinals, a 78-yard pick six in that win. And then the linebackers, a little bit of a change here for Beatrice. Alex Busboom, Taylor Schaaf on the outside, Colton Herfel, and it would have been Byron Ostick on the inside, but he woke up sick this morning, will not play tonight, so it'll be Merrick Johnson. That's a big loss for Beatrice, Andy. 14 tackles per game in his last 3.
Yeah, it's going to be quite the void to fill, but you got to feel like with so many things going on here, senior night, homecoming, the pink out, they're going to find a way as a team to rally around that loss and try to make up for those 14 tackles they're going to be missing on the interior.
So Crete won the toss, and they elected to defer to the second half, so they will kick away here. It's a calm, well, not calm, cool, crisp night. It's anything but calm here in southeast Nebraska. The wind right now, 14 miles an hour out of the north, 54 degrees. Will drop down into the mid-40s by the time this one is over. Fall football weather, isn't it?
Feels like football, feels great. I do believe, Jake, that the wind's going to play a factor into this game tonight. You mentioned the wind. It's been pretty stiff this entire evening, and as you're looking on the screen, it blows from left to right. So Beatrice is going to have the wind in their favor at their back this opening drive.
Angel Martinez gets set to kick it away back deep for Beatrice. Merrick Johnson, Luke Hamilton, and this kick is going to tail out of bounds, so the illegal procedure flag is donned on the first play of the night. So that'll put Beatrice around the 35, and we get another look at the Orangemen offense. Again, the stats on this Beatrice group, 9 points per game this season, 204 yards per game, 68 through the air, 136 on the ground, 4 turnovers, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles, and they have allowed 22 sacks. This Crete defense has averaged at least a sack per game, so we'll see if this Beatrice offensive line can give some protection to Crew Mintz, starting quarterback. 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, and he can run the football as well. Orangeman out of the eye to open things up. John Reeson had missed some time with a foot injury, returned last week, and gets a first carry of the night here, picks up about 8 yards. Last week against Norris, 5 carries for 26 yards for the junior running back.
Yeah, right away you see him get out into that patented Maryland eye look, and a fantastic job with the offensive line firing off, getting a good push, but then those 2 up backs getting to the next level, getting their guy, and then opening up a running lane. Couldn't ask for a better first down run if you're an Orangeman fan.
8-yard pickup. Beatrice averaging 5.6 yards per attempt this season. Another carry for Reeson, and he drops down the bottom part of your screen and picks up a first down. Another gain of about 8 or 9. Nice push up front by that Orangeman offensive line.
You better believe it. They go right back to the right side, and once again, the 2 lead blockers were able to get upfield and on the second level on those linebackers.
So that brings up first down and 10 to go. So 2 carries and 18 yards for John Reeson as the Orangemen push into Crete territory in just 2 plays. Reeson another carry here, and this time bottled up front. First man there, Juan Miguel Carter, 2's in there for the stop as well for Crete.
Quick adjustment there from head coach Mark Newmeyer of Crete, bringing an extra guy down. They had 5 guys crowding the line of scrimmage for that run support.
Tonight's first quarter is brought to you in part by John Henry's Our Family Serving Yours. So no gain on first down after Recent at 18 yards in his first 2 carries of the ball game. Gets nothing there. And they'll keep it with him again for the 4th straight time. And into the open field, out of the backfield, and another first down for Recent.
First down, Beatrice.
John Reeson's doing an excellent job running with patience. He's keeping his feet moving, Jake, but he's picking his spots, and when he sees that gap, that little crease in the defense, man, he can hit that second gear.
John Reeson coming into tonight's game, 44 carries, 77 yards, just 1.8 yards per carry. And in his first 4 here, he's got 28, averaging 7 yards per carry. He'll run off, tackle to the edge, gets a block, and he's into the open field, inside the 10, cuts right at the 5, and he's in for the touchdown. And Beatrice draws first blood in 5 plays offensively.
What a fantastic run. Look at this adjustment. Everything was supposed to go inside like the previous 3 or 4 runs. Bounces it outside, then here's the vision. Reading those blocks downfield, gets himself into the end zone. What an opening drive. You could say a statement drive for the Orangemen here tonight.
5 plays, and they go 75 yards to cash in on a 32-yard touchdown run by John Reeson. Trevin Lang, who's missed the last 2 weeks, is on for the PAT. It is up, and it is through. A 5-play drive, all on the legs of John Reeson, and he caps it off with a 32-yard touchdown run. And the Orangemen draw first blood this evening at the House of Orange. More football next on NCN. Five plays, 65 yards, all using the legs of John Reeson. And Beatrice cashes in on their opening drive on a 37-yard touchdown as Trevin Lang kicks it away as the Crete offense gets ready to take the field. Coteal will take it about a yard deep in the end zone, and it's whistled for a touchback. So gives us a chance to take a look at this Crete offense, Andy Klassen. 23.3 points per game and a balanced offensive attack. 234 yards, but pretty even split between run and pass.
Yeah, you got Cesar Linares. You also got Angel Martinez. Reese Verton, the quarterback. He can run the ball as well. Already 533 yards through the air. It's a lot to handle.
Got a good rushing attack as well between Martinez and Linares. Those two combined averaging about 6.5 yards per carry. As Crete audibles on this first offensive play, they'll go to the shotgun. Beatrice has got to adjust. From the 20, it's 1st and 10. The carry here for Linares, and he's bottled up. Beatrice's defensive front won that one. Silas Benson in there on the stop. 76 in pink, and it's a loss on first down.
I mean, just way too much penetration up front. If you're a Crete Cardinal fan, you're thinking, hey, if we're going to be doing this, run-pass option, these RPOs with our quarterback, that takes some time. You got to get at least a 1 count up front to allow that handoff and read to happen.
7-0 Beatrice after the 5-play, 65-yard scoring drive. Linares another carry here, and he's thrown to the ground. Gavin Vanover and about 2 or 3 other Orangemen in there on the stop. Looks like you have Crew Mintz as well as Colton Herfel in there for Beatrice.
Yeah, tough run, heavy collisions. That's to be expected, right, in this type of a game. But due to the loss, the tackle for loss on first down, it's going to bring up a 3rd and long here right away for this Cardinal offense.
2 carries for 2 yards for Linares on this opening drive. And Crete 28% on 3rd down this season. They've also turned the ball over 8 times, 5 interceptions, all for Verton. and they've given away 4 fumbles. We'll see if that 28% shows here on 3rd down and 8 from the 22. Got to get to the 30. Pressure comes. Scholl misses the sack, and Verton throws it to the sidelines, and it falls incomplete. Luke Hamilton in the coverage for Beatrice. Theo Bowling, the intended target, and it's a 3-and-out for the Cardinals offense.
And you got to really tip your cap to the defensive line of Beatrice applying the pressure throughout that first drive. You had man-to-man across the board, 4 wide, a lot of pressure put out there on those defensive backs. Made a heck of a lot easier thanks to the pressure applied by that defensive line.
So Crete coming on to punt. Angel Martinez does all of the kicking and punting duties for Mark Newmeyer and the Cardinals. 34 yards per punt, 52 of a long, and he's got 1 inside the 20. And we've got a whistle and a timeout called by Beatrice. Might not have liked something they saw there, so they're going to talk things over. 8:53 remaining in the first. It's a 7-0 Orange lead. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The Yellow Jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people, you know, we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast of the night.
Anything for the floor.
So after the timeout, the kick is in the air to Angel Martinez. Hamilton bobbled the return, and now he turns it upfield. Gets a block inside the 40. Needs one more. Finally dragged down, and a save of a touchdown by Logan Bessler, but a return of 62 yards for Luke Hamilton, and he's amped up on the sideline.
Well, and it looked like Keiser put the blitz on, wanted to apply some pressure, knowing they would have to punt into the wind. You mentioned Hamilton, a little bobble there, but he got outside that first wave of would-be tacklers and makes the guy miss right there before he finds the sideline. And this offense is in business once again, already in the red zone.
And again, Beatrice, 5 plays, 65 yards on their opening drive. John Reeson responsible for all those yards and the touchdown. Cashed in with a 37-yarder. Now Beatrice starts in the red zone. Reeson another carry. And he swung down inside the 10 around the 7-yard line. Tackle by Carter Tews for the Cardinals, but another strong run for the Reeson.
The one-on-one battles are being won by the guys wearing pink jerseys here tonight. And if Crete's going to handle this Maryland eye, they're going to have to get off these blocks and start making some tackles before all this yardage is being picked up by Mr. John Reeson.
Already a season high for the junior Reeson. Carry here to Merrick Johnson. The sophomore cuts the edge, and he finds the end zone. And Beatrice scores in 2 plays to go up 2 scores.
Just a little bit of a wrinkle in there, giving it to one of the middle or the up back, the sophomore Johnson. Obviously, the defense was paying a lot of attention to the other running back, John Reeson, and that's for good reason because he's already having a big night. You mentioned already a career high in yardage and carries.
3rd touchdown of the season for Merrick Johnson, his first since 2 weeks ago against Lincoln Northwest when he had both of his scores on the season. Gets another here, and Trevin Lang puts the PAT up and through. A great return by Luke Hamilton sets Beatrice up in the red zone. Then it's 2 plays to pay dirt, and Beatrice leads it 14-0. 7:58 remaining. We'll pause on NCN.
That is literally the funniest thing ever.
And then I said,
It wasn't. But this guy could use a win. Even if it's not as big of a win as I get with free Kasasa Cash checking. Kasasa Cash pays me a really high rate and refunds ATM withdrawal fees nationwide. So I feel like a queen. Has a mega bank ever made you feel that way? Or is it more like this guy? Take back banking with Kasasa Cash.
Get Kasasa checking at Liberty First Credit Union.
Two plays, 15 yards, and a 6-yard touchdown for Merrick Johnson makes this a 14-0 lead for Beatrice. 7:58 to go in the first. Luke Hamilton sets all that up with a long 64-yard punt return. And Andy, we heard from Mark Neumeier in the pregame. He wanted to make this a rivalry again. Beatrice has won every game against Crete in this building in the last 6 seasons. Beatrice is off to another great start in this one.
Boy, they really are. And I mean, you always hear that tagline, protect this house. And this is a rivalry game, and this is a newer, nice stadium. And they take rivalries very seriously down here in southeast Nebraska. And if you're a Beatrice fan, you couldn't have asked for a better start. 2 really good short field situations due to the penalties on special teams and also the return. It just kind of feels like Crete has to answer here early on. Maybe not get a score, but maybe a first down, sustain a drive, give your defense a breath.
Yeah, Cardinals went 3 and out on their opening drive, netted just 2 yards and an incompletion for Verton. Another carry here for Linares, and he doesn't get much. Beatrice in there to make the stop. Alex Busboom, a big play for the senior.
Yeah, the Orangemen are really crowding the line of scrimmage, bringing an extra guy down to that box. They're going with their one-on-one cover guys, trusting their corners to hold up. And right now, there's no time for the quarterback to pass the ball anyway because that rush is getting home. They're getting great penetration up front.
Yeah, no gain on first down, brings up 2nd and 10. Again, Linares and Martinez combined 6.5 yards per carry. 3 carries for just 2 yards for Linares. They'll go to the air here as Verton airs one out, looking down the right sideline. Incomplete, intended for the senior Theo Bowling. Good coverage there by Luke Hamilton. Once again, great start to the game for Hamilton.
Yeah, it felt like it was maybe just a little underthrown there, allowed the defender to stick with the play and get underneath and not commit that pass interference call.
So Verton 0 for 2. Again, the numbers on Reese Verton coming into this one. 40% through the air, 37 of 93. 4 touchdowns, 5 picks, 533 yards, and not a great QBR either at 51-1. So he'll look to try and get that up here tonight. A second, third down, and as many drives the Cardinals will face right here. Again, 28% on the year, 3rd and 10 from the 20. Wide out to the near side, Bowling. He switches sides. Verton steps up and goes down. Swung to the ground by Alex Busboom. 2 TFLs for 45 in pink, and Beatrice forces another 3 and out.
And Verton did a nice job trying to buy himself some time here, but look at how there was nothing to work with. And those were vertical routes on 3rd and long. Had to allow those receivers to work down the field. By that time, the pass rush had already gotten home.
First sack and 7th tackle of the season for Alex Busboom, the 5'11", 185-pound senior. As again, Hamilton back deep for Beatrice, but they kick it well short of him into the wind. No chance for a 64-yard return here, but Beatrice with favorable starting field position at the 41-yard line. So, Andy, a good start to the game in all facets for Beatrice. Crete's got to get a stop here just for the momentum side of things.
It sure feels that way, and I think you saw the wind play another factor in it there with that punt getting caught up right away, short punt. You're going to have a short field here for this red-hot offense thus far for Beatrice to work with.
First down, 10 to go. Excuse me, it was the looks like they gave Beatrice some extra yardage here. They're going to start 1st and 10 at the 49. That kick went all the way back. You wonder if somebody in white touched that ball on its way down.
I think somebody got hit in the back or the back of the leg there on the 49.
Well, Beatrice will take it. They start in plus territory for the second time in as many drives. Airing it out for Trey Henning. His crew minds pass falls incomplete. Good coverage from Bowling on Henning.
Boy, it really was. Bowling just stayed stride for stride. And you're going to get a good look at it here. Didn't try to turn his head around, didn't get into the receiver so much to where there's so much contact that yellow flag had to come out. Just stayed disciplined with his eyes.
So Merrick Johnson tonight, 35 yards away from 300 on the year, and he's got 6 for a touchdown so far. Everybody gets faked out as Reeson gets another carry, his 7th of the game. A flag does come in right where the tackle is made. You almost wonder if it's maybe a hold up in the secondary. We'll have to see what the call is.
It came out early in the run, so I don't think it was on the tackle like a face mask or something like that. So you might be onto something with the holding call.
Yeah, it's a personal foul against the Orangemen. So Jeff Keiser not going to be happy about that one. That's going to push Beatrice back by, looks like maybe 15 yards here.
And mentioned it in the pregame. This is a really good crew. Referee Jeff Pappas, umpire Mike Sheets, Scott Ohlers, our line judge Darren Mueller, and then Jason Bokowski will be our back judge tonight.
And I believe you got a nice picture of him for your Twitter page, didn't you?
I did. I sent out. I like to give the officials a lot of credit.
So the 15-yard penalty, 2nd and 22 for Beatrice. And Crew Mites, the quarterback, we said he could run, and here's the first example of it, nearly running for a first down after the penalty. Finally brought down by Angel Martinez, but a pickup of about 20 brings up 2nd and short.
And how about his lead blocker way downfield, John Reeson, the running back who's already having a big game, saying, all right, let me help you out here. Look at that, 2 extra blocks. I bet he picked up another 8-9 yards thanks to the running back downfield laying some blocks.
And it's a 20-yard pickup, sets up 3rd down and 2. Beatrice 25% on 3rd down. Neither team great in the category. And they go to Cale Cook, the fullback, turns it upfield and gets down near the 20-yard line. Every run that looks like it's just a short yardage run, Andy Klassen, turns out to be big yardage.
It really does. And, I mean, this is just a point where we mentioned it earlier. The Cardinal defenders are going to have to win these one-on-one battles. They're going to have to get off blocks and make plays. We're going to have a timeout here from the Crete Cardinals. Coaches want to talk things over.
It goes as a 23-yard pickup on 3rd and 2 for Cale Cook. As Andy said, Mark Newmeyer calls his first timeout. We'll step aside as well. 5:13 to play in the first. It's a 14-0 Orangeman lead. Beatrice is threatening again in the red zone.
It's pretty hard to find quicker service, nicer people, or anyone who cares more when filling your prescriptions in Kin's Pharmacy in Crete. After all, the drive-thru makes your wait time minimal, and Kin and Carry are reliable pharmacists. It's so much more. Helpful advice, accurate refills, and a large selection of over-the-counter products. So don't just take my word for it. Try Kin's Pharmacy for yourself, whether it's in the drive-thru, inside, or with mail-out service, because Kin's You Save Health Mart Pharmacy to care for you. Kin's Pharmacy in Crete, caring for you and about you.
Well, welcome back to the House of Orange as Beatrice leads this one 14-0, 5:13 remaining. And Andy Klassen, they're just hammering Crete on the ground.
Yeah, and they're really staying true to this offensive identity that head coach Jeff Keisher wanted to install ever since he took the helm here in Beatrice, and that is power rushing, utilizing a lot of that Maryland eye and multiple guys carrying the rock. Now we see a flag coming out of the break. That really drives a coaching staff crazy.
I believe Beatrice might have jumped there. We'll see. 5:12 remaining in the first.
Might have had some movement, as you mentioned.
Ooh, yeah, I think on the left side. Might have been Jacob Scholl. Couldn't tell quite what the number was, but it's going to bring up 1st and 15 after the false start. So Beatrice now outside of the red zone of the 22. Penalty was on Grayson Klein for the Orangemen. It's the left guard. Merrick Johnson on the delayed handoff. Looks like all that penalty yardage back, but the ball pops out, and Angel Martinez comes up with it for the Cardinals.
Was he down? Was he down? The officials are talking it over right now.
Beatrice is pointing as if they're down, and he is not. It's a turnover, just the 5th of the season for the Orangemen, and Crete turns away Beatrice right near the red zone.
And Crete stayed in a 4-3 look. 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and you're seeing the late tackle by a defensive lineman trailing. That was the middle linebacker, Vondra, who actually caught back up to it and punched that ball out.
Yeah, so for Vondra, his first forced fumble of the season, the recovery for Angel Martinez. It's been a tough couple of weeks outside of the touchdown for Merrick Johnson. Last week against Norris, 7 carries for 15 yards and a fumble. Now Jeff Keisher looking for an explanation. He thought he was down, and that replay did give it that indication. Looks like everything's been settled, and Crete's going to take over after forcing just the 5th turnover of the year for Beatrice.
Ball security. You got to secure that thing through the ground, and if you can just keep it from not hitting the turf at all, that's what you want to do.
14-0 in favor of Beatrice. And a little bit of an option play there. That ball looked like the Orangemen were thinking it popped out. Maurice Verton gets the carry and just doesn't get much, and that might have been what Beatrice was celebrating.
Boy, just once again, look at that penetration, Jake, up front. Verton really had nowhere to go with it. Was trying to get it to his pitch man, but that assignment was already taken care of out on the edge, so he kind of had to eat that one for another TFL, tackle for loss.
Yeah, Reese Verton now 2 carries for a net of -5 in the rushing category. He's not known to be a running quarterback this season. 23 carries for just 6 yards, and obviously some sack yardage probably in there as well, but definitely not the game plan for Mark Newmeyer.
More of a traditional power pro offensive set where quarterback's passing the ball and handing it off.
And kicking it to the outside, Linares has the edge. And he's knocked out of bounds by Vanover at the 45. A monster pickup. Goes for a gain of 28.
And that's what this Crete offense was looking for. Their home run hitter, kid that we highlighted in the pregame, that's Cesar Linares. And that's why it's so important to take care of your alley, your lane, your assignment on defense, because you could have a guy like Linares exploit it for a big play.
4 carries for 30 yards for Linares, 5'6", 210 pounds. As he had a tough start to the game, 3 carries or just a couple, 4 for 30. Now after the 28-yard run. Shotgun set. This is Angel Martinez, sheds a tackle. And then he gets swallowed up. Beatrice again with another stop right at and behind the line of scrimmage. Colton Herfel in on the stop.
That was a darn good run there from Angel Martinez, making a couple guys miss, but the pursuit, Mr. Bartecki, was there for the Orangemen, allowing for a no gain. Strung that one out perfectly.
14-0 Beatrice as we're coming up on 3.5 minutes to play in our first quarter. Again, he's Andy Klassen. I'm Jake Bartecki. High school football, the second game of our doubleheader on News Channel Nebraska Sports. 2 in the backfield in the shotgun. It's back to Linares on the ground. And again, back to making a nice short gain stop is Beatrice. Cale Cook with a hit there for the Orangemen.
Yeah, just not much doing between the tackles for the Crete Cardinals. I mean, that's really where they want to kind of establish the run in the first quarter, in the first half. And Beatrice, this Orangeman defensive unit, they're just not having it. Kind of daring Crete to try and move the ball through the air, as you mentioned, to something they're not really known for anyway this season.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Zollner Lincoln Ford of Beatrice, and it's a third down for Crete to face here. 3rd and 8 from the 47. 0 for 2 on 3rd down so far tonight as we've got 2:36 remaining in the first quarter, and a whistle comes in. Mark Newmeyer calls his second timeout. It'll be 3rd and 8 for the Cardinals when we return. 2:31 remaining in the first. Orangemen on top by 2 TDs.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Welcome back to the House of Orange. Orangeman defense, Cardinal offense. Getting ready to face a 3rd down and 8 as Beatrice looks to get Crete off the field. Crete's gotten a little more life on this offensive drive, but it's really all been on one play, Andy. 28-yard carry for Linares. Now they're in 3rd down.
And it was a run to the left, and they overload the left side of the offensive line again.
Verton chased out of the pocket, evades a sack, throws up a wobbler that falls incomplete. It was intended for Kenner Svidok, and coming in to make the play, Crew Mintz, the safety, had a pick 6 last year at Al Papik Field against the Cardinals. Makes a nice play here.
He really does. Not giving up on the play because it looked like Svidok had a chance at it. The big tight end, big dude with Mintz. He was determined to get in there and break that one up on the 3rd and long.
4th down and 8 coming up. 2 minutes and 26 seconds remaining. And again, back to return the punt for Beatrice. Luke Hamilton. Again, his first return, 64 yards. And this is a short kick into that 14-mile-an-hour wind. And it takes a Crete roll inside the 35. Not a bad punt for Angel Martinez. He got a little bit of a benefit of a good roll.
Yeah, and you could just see that it looked like a great punt off of his foot. You know, it really popped off there and then just got caught up in that 14-mile-an-hour wind, as you mentioned there. Kind of took the life out of it. Crete, fortunate that it had that forward bounce, though, able to pick some up as it hit the turf.
So it'll be 1st down, 10 to go, Beatrice. They line up at the 33-yard line. Again, this Orangeman offense was 2 for 2 to start the ball game and then coughed up the football. Merrick Johnson with his 2nd fumble in as many games and his 3rd on the season. John Reeson gets a carry here on the 1st down play on offense and picks up about 4.
I think that's a play you can live with if you're a Beatrice fan. Picking up 3-4 yards on 1st down, just going right up the gut, left side, in that Maryland eye.
2nd down and 6 to go inside, 2 minutes to play. Beatrice started with the football, so it'll be Crete to kick things off in the second half once we get there. And Crew Mines takes a carry here, gets back to the line of scrimmage, but doesn't get much more. Nice job by that Cardinal defense, Quinlan Vondra in there on the stop.
Yeah, it almost looked like they had a little bit of a blitz in on that, or a run blitz, whatever it was. They got that early penetration and blew that play up before Mines could really do anything with it.
So that brings up 3rd down. Beatrice faces their 3rd down of the ball game, and they're 3 of 3. Lining up from the 38, needing 5 yards to the 43. Near side wideout is Luke Hamilton. The far side, it's Henning. Tight end in motion is Busboom. Stepping up and flipping it over the middle. A dangerous throw by Crew Mines. Good protection by Emmanuel Chankovac, who makes the breakup. Pass was intended for Alex Busboom. Chankovac so far this season already a pick 6 as well.
And that looked like it had a pick 6 written all over it. Mines felt the pressure well, moved up in the pocket, thought he had a guy open out on the flats, didn't see that linebacker underneath. I'll tell you what, the Orangemen are fortunate that ball didn't get picked off.
So Crew Mines now 0 of 2 through the air. The numbers on Mines, 0 for 2 passing, 2 carries for 20 yards, and a whole bunch of handoffs. So Trey Henning to punt for the first time tonight. 28 yards per kick, and he takes off on a fake. Did he get there? Lowers the shoulder. It's going to be very close. Based off where it's spotted now, Henning picks it up.
Surprised he decided to pull the trigger on that one. They're leaving it all out on the table tonight, and that collision was right at the sticks. You mentioned how the pile moved forward. Wow, what a gutsy call. And a collision at the end of this one.
Laid his shoulder into Connor Crum, and with 48 seconds remaining in the first quarter, Beatrice's offense gets a fresh set of downs with good field position. They go back to the Maryland eye. That's Mines, the quarterback, followed by the fullback Cook and 2 tailbacks in Johnson and Reeson. Reeson gets the carry here and picks up 2.
Yeah, Crete's made the adjustment here on defense. That time, everybody but a safety over the top and a linebacker over the middle. Otherwise, everyone was crowding that line of scrimmage, you know, trying to bottle up this heavy dose of rushing we're seeing from this Orangeman offense.
Yeah, it's been a whale of a first quarter for John Reeson. 8 carries, 80 yards, and a 37-yard touchdown run. So he's already surpassed his career and season high in both carries and yards here in the first 12 minutes of action. This will likely be the final play of the first quarter, and it goes to Reeson once again. And again, Crete bottles him up. Good amount of white jerseys in on the stop. Looks like that tackle going to be credited to Mason Snyder. 12 minutes down as the horn sounds in the first quarter. Beatrice scores on their opening 2 drives. Crete forces the turnover, and Beatrice's defense is able to keep them off the scoreboard. After 12 minutes, it's Beatrice 14, Crete nothing, 12 down, 36 to go. High school football continuing on NCN.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Fuel your journey by starting at a Speedy Mart store near you. From the small communities in Nebraska to the larger cities, the staff at Speedy Marts are ready to serve you with food, fuel, and rewards. Save 5 cents per gallon with the Fuel Your Journey fill up plus additional bonus savings. Download the app for mobile pay, offering customers the highest quality branded food and treats, fresh, ready, and convenient. Check out SpeedyMart.com for locations and job opportunities.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USafe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
Third and 5, just shy of midfield as we start the second quarter. John Reeson lined up as a receiver, and on the jet sweep, turns it upfield. A missed tackle in the backfield sends Reeson to the open field, and he picks up a first down.
You always hear the adage, it's a game of inches, and had that tackle been made, that might have been a tackle behind the line of scrimmage or for a short gain. Reesing is having one whale of a game. You mentioned the first quarter he had. Looks like he's carrying that momentum into the second quarter in a big way. Huge collision at the end there as Cesar Lazares helped him out there, helped him down to the sideline. Big offensive or outside linebacker for this Cardinal defense.
17-yard gain, second longest run of the night for Reeson. The only one longer, the 37-yard touchdown. Beatrice goes 5 wide here. Mintz is alone in the backfield. The wideout for the first time tonight on the far side, that's Gavin Vanover. Crete brings pressure. Mintz loses his footing and now just tries to scamper back to the line of scrimmage, but he'll lose a few here as he surrenders out of bounds.
But that's why it's so important to get that initial rush, that initial pass rush. Tackle wasn't made, but that allowed for the other guys to rally up and bottle up Crew Mintz, the quarterback, as that was a full-on design run for the quarterback.
Yeah, it goes to a loss of 4. So Mintz 3 carries, 16 yards. And the sack going to be credited to Cesar Linares there. So 2 big plays by Linares, a big hit on Reeson to end what might have been a touchdown run, and then the sack there to force Mintz out of bounds. Mintz will throw. He's still looking for his first completion, and it's tipped and caught. It went off the hands of Henning and into the hands of John Reeson. He is just in the right place at the right time on every play tonight.
Sometimes it's just your night, right? I mean, that had the immaculate catch written all over it. Raiders fans don't want to hear that, but my goodness. You mentioned Reesing and the night he's having, just being around the football. You hear coaches' staffs from Pee-wees, Pop Warner, high school and up. Get yourself around the football, good things will happen. You're setting yourself up for a lucky play or success, and you saw it right there.
And Reeson is not a decoy as a receiver. 10 receptions, 67 yards. Takes a pitch, gets down inside the 10, trying to keep his legs moving for extra yardage. But he's close to another first down. Might just be a half-yard short.
And that was an impressive play right there. Pitch was a little high. Look at how he tips it to himself, doesn't lose his cool, and then makes a heck of another really good run, bringing up a second and short. Tail end.
Safety Theo Bowling in there to finally deliver the final blow, and it brings up second down in about a half yard. 11:04 and the clock running here in the second quarter. Crete 4-2 on the year. There are 2 losses. How about this one? An 8-6 loss in week 2. That's right. That's a football score, not a baseball score. To Mount Michael, and they lost 58-6 to Elkhorn North. Another carry here. Not much on that attempt for Beatrice, and it's enough for a first down, however.
You mentioned the different scores this season for Crete, but that has a lot to do with their competition. A lot of teams have lost some games, lopsided games to Elkhorn North, but they've won some shootouts too. The very following week, beat Schuyler 47-0. And you mentioned that other loss 8-6. So they're used to doing the ground and pound, grinded out style games as well.
Tight end Alex Busboom with the carry there for Beatrice. 2-yard gain. That sets up a first down and goal to go situation from the 7-yard line for the Orangemen. Wide out left side is Trey Henning. High snap, whistle comes in before the play. Didn't see a flag fly. And it's a timeout by Beatrice. So obviously Jeff Keiser did not like something he saw pre-snap, gets the timeout. Beatrice will have one remaining. 10-13 to play first half. Orangemen knocking on the door once again, up 14-0.
If you're thinking about becoming a John Deere technician, receive a debt-free degree from Landmark Implement. With the John Deere Student Tech Program, receive reimbursement for up to 100% of college tuition, fees, books, and room and board, plus a $5,000 tool stipend. Students are paid a competitive hourly wage for their work hours and are guaranteed employment at a Landmark location after graduation. Visit landmark.careers to find out more about the John Deere Student Tech Program and become part of the Landmark difference.
10 minutes, 13 seconds remaining here in the first half, where Beatrice leads at 14-0. With the ball down near the end zone once again, it'll be first and goal from the 7. That crazy play we had a couple minutes ago, the pass tipped by Trey Henning to John Reeson for a 16-yard gain. Mind you, that was the first completion of the night for Crew Mites.
Hey, he'll take a lucky play here and there, help him out, help your offense out through the air. And what a timely timeout for head coach Jeff Keiser. It's like he was looking into the future, crystal ball action on the sideline, because that snap out of the shotgun went over the quarterback's head in Crew Mites.
Mites will line up under center here. The Maryland Eye, the lone wideout is Henning. Back to Reeson, looking for another touchdown. And the ball comes out again, and Crete has hopped on it. Second straight drive. Beatrice has gotten inside the red zone and coughs it up.
And that's that opportunistic defense. That's how you get to a 4-2 record at the back half of your season. Your defense bends, they don't break, and they make plays.
Angel Martinez rips it out, so now a fumble forced and a fumble recovered by Martinez, the senior. The recovery that time, Garrett Rochenbach for the Cardinals. And Crete with tough starting field position, but the wind at their back. Most importantly, they keep this at a 2-score game.
Boy, and we saw how well Beatrice operated their offense with the wind to their back, and it's not letting up, I can tell you that. American flag pretty stiff over there out of the south end zone.
Burton hands it off to Linares just outside the end zone, and Linares was tripped up as he got to the second level by Crew Mites from the safety spot, but he's able to turn it upfield for a chunk yardage run. Brings up second.
He's just a tough runner to bring down, I tell you what.
9-yard pickup, which is the second longest run of the night for Linares outside of the 28-yarder he had on Crete's last drive. So 6 carries for 41 yards for Linares. The 5'6", 210-pound senior. Last week against Pius, really good game, and he's been red hot as of late, Andy. 20 carries, 133 yards, couple of scores last week. Look at the last 2 weeks, 137 yards a game and 4 touchdowns.
I mean, you love the consistency. I also like the versatility. 550 yards through the air, averaging 92 yards per game on the ground, and that's kind of splitting carries, as you mentioned a moment ago, with Martinez.
Yeah, and I'll talk about versatility. There's Crew Mites all the way from the safety spot. Another shoelace tackle on Linares, and it's Beatrice's 5th tackle for loss just in this first half, and it makes a much more difficult third down.
You know, no surprise, Crew Mites is a two-way player, gifted athlete. He's so smart back there, and of course he's the quarterback, right? But he's made a really nice pass breakup, avoiding a pass interference call with a late breakup. They're slow to read, really quick to react for the tackle.
3rd and 4 from the 12-yard line, and they run the ball with Linares, and I think Beatrice might have stopped him short, and they did. So another turnover for Beatrice, and the defense is able to back him up as the punting unit comes onto the field here for Mark Newmeyer. Our second quarter is brought to you in part by O Street Carpet. It's supported by Steve Carper and the crew at O Street Carpet in Lincoln. So Martinez on to punt. Again, the numbers on him as a kicker. 34 yards per punt, 1 inside the 20 and along a 52. We saw how much of a charge he was able to put into the ball, into the wind. Now with a 15-mile-an-hour wind at his back, he'll get to boot it away, and there you see it as Hamilton waits to field it on the bounce.
A little bit of a difference there, right? Wow, get down there and down it.
And that was a near 90-yard punt by Angel Martinez, downed at the 5.
I mean, it's not rocket science, but I did say a couple times the wind was going to play a part in this game, but wow, just got it up, boomed it. That last punt he had, you could just see when it got up into the air like it hit a wall. That time the exact opposite happened, and he has that forward bounce. We saw that on his previous couple of punts as well.
So first down, 10 to go, Orangemen. So Crete had to start at the 5, but that was after Beatrice coughed up the football. This is after a booming punt by Angel Martinez. And Beatrice lines up in the I formation. The lone wideout on the bottom right of your screen. That's Trey Henning. Out of the end zone, Mainz throws, and it is incomplete. Again, a dangerous floater of a throw. That one was intended for Merrick Johnson, but still defenders in the area for the Cardinals.
Well, he had to do something in a hurry because the blitz was on, and he was able to get enough on it to go over top of that outside linebacker, and he actually gave his receiver a shot at it there, coming up empty as Merrick Johnson. Tough catch, but probably could have made it, you know.
Mainz is 1 of 4 for 16 yards. Couple of near interception throws by the 175-pound senior. His best game all the way back in week 1. 9 completions, 116 yards, and a touchdown. The touchdown didn't come in that game, but the completions and the yards did. As Beatrice gets ready to face a second down and 10 to go. Stick around for our halftime show coming up. We'll have some highlights. We'll have analysis. And our halftime highlights are brought to you in part by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Sartor Heyman will help make your jewelry dreams come true. I think we'll probably see a good bit of John Reeson in that one. 8 carries, 97 yards.
I think you're right. Could you say he's shining like a diamond here
Probably
tonight?
Probably could. Like a Sartor Heyman diamond.
There
you get
you
all
go.
the diamonds you need. So it brings up a 2nd and 10 from the 5-yard line. 7:36 remain here in the first half. Again, Crete won the toss, elected to defer, so they'll have the ball to start the third quarter. Beatrice goes shotgun here. Went out of the eye on their last 4 offensive plays. Now they drop back into the gun. Bus boom in motion across the line of scrimmage. Handoff is faked, and it's Mainz who keeps it. Cuts back across the middle, gets a block, and gets out past the 20 and picks up about 14. Strong run there for the quarterback.
Strong run and a fantastic job of reversing the field, going against the grain and picking up some timely blocks. Right here, makes the cut, goes across the middle of that defense. You saw the strength right there, breaks a tackle. Strong finish, moves the sticks once again for this Orangeman offense.
160 of Beatrice's 176 yards have all come on the ground. Again, the leading rusher, Reeson, with 97. Then it's Mainz with 40. Reeson gets a carry here, but gets eaten up. Good tackle by Juan Miguel, the junior D end.
Yeah, he swallowed that one up right away, coming off the edge. Just went right down the line. Didn't even allow that play to begin to develop for Reeson.
Second tackle for loss of the season for Miguel. It's his 15th total tackle, his second of the night. As Beatrice lines up in 2nd down and 11 set with a shotgun look. Hamilton on the far side, Henning on the near side. Reeson another carry, and he gets the loss of a yard back and picks up a few more. And Beatrice will face 3rd and medium. As well as our halftime highlights, we'll also have a halftime show full of analysis from Andy Klassen and myself. Maybe take a look at some scores from around the state. And our halftime show brought to you by Columbus Community Hospital, where your health is their top priority. So 3rd down and about 4 to go for Beatrice. And they line up from the 30-yard line, and Mainz keeps it himself, cuts left. Looks like he got the first down, but gets table-topped on his way across the line to gain.
But that's what Beatrice was looking for, just enough to move the sticks. And how about Mainz? Once again with that vision. That was supposed to stay inside. He saw a little crease there, knew he could pick it up, got out there, and did just that.
5 carries, 34 yards for Crew Mainz. The only negative yard run play was a sack. He pitches it to the right side, outside for Reeson. Blocks gets set up as Reeson gets near the yard to gain, and a flag in the backfield. This might be coming back.
Just way too much room to run with, to operate with. Yes, we do have a flag in the backfield.
5:23 remaining. I think it's going to be a hold against Beatrice here. Be the third penalty of the night on the Orangemen. It's a block in the back against the Orangemen, so big loss of yardage there. Again, 5:23 remaining. I think Beatrice probably wants to hold this football for as long as they can.
Right.
With Crete having the ball out of the gate in the second half. So it's going to bring up 1st and 20. How about that? Spot foul.
Yeah, and I can tell you what you can really appreciate from Jeff Keiser and his offensive coaching staff here tonight is they're not out-coaching themselves. The rushing attack has been on point, so that's what they've been leaning on.
Set up a screen for Merrick Johnson. Johnson, a stiff arm at the 30. Flag does come in. He threw a big stiff arm at Emmanuel Chankovac. Finally brought down on the play by Kenner Svidok. See what the call is.
Another personal foul, face mask. That's what I was wondering from the Cardinal defense.
So you see kind of a trade of penalties there, both kind of the same amount of yardage, and now Beatrice is kind of back to where they started, maybe 15 seconds off the clock.
So both coaching staffs will have some pointers to go over during the break. Is that what you're telling me?
I would say probably, but not many loss or gain of yardage there for either side.
And that's just a really tough spot if you're a Cardinal fan because you had them backed up way behind the sticks, and then you're giving that yardage back, as you mentioned, through the personal foul, the face mask.
Again, Beatrice leading 14-0 with points on each of their first 2 drives. Their next 2, they got the ball down inside the red zone and coughed it up, and you have 1 punt by Trey Henning. First down, run on 1st and 10 for Reeson. He picks up about 8. And it brings up 2nd and short.
Hey, you're just thinking that's just too much yardage. I mean, look at that, a whole host of offensive linemen, tight ends, out front. I mean, you're allowing that tailback, the running back, to get a good 4 or 5 yards before he's even touched.
With that run, Reeson surpasses 100 yards on the night, 11 carries, 104 yards, and that 37-yard touchdown. 2nd down and 1, and a whistle, and looks like Beatrice caught Crete moving on the opposite side. Carter Tews with a neutral zone infraction.
He was, but did he get back in time? I think the offensive lineman kind of waited a little too long here.
Well, here we see it.
Yes, he did. If he would have done that right away, Jake, they would have got, as you mentioned, the offsides
so they
call.
called that against Beatrice.
Yes, they did. And that's kind of how I saw it.
We have quite a few penalties here in the last, I'd say, minute of game action.
But it's been evenly displaced, right? Both teams can kind of say, yeah, we're part of it.
So it sets up a 2nd and 7 after the penalty. Beatrice keeps it on the ground with Reeson. Gets to midfield, and then Martinez comes in to make the hit. Ball came out once again. Crete jumped on top of it. I think they're going to say he was down by contact well before anything occurred. Theo Bowling saw him showing the ball to the official. But Beatrice is going to maintain possession here. Gain of 2 for Reeson. They say he was down by contact.
Feels like a pretty big 3rd down to close out or towards the end of this first half here. If Beatrice can sustain this drive and kind of run out the clock and at least go into the break, 2 scores up, I think they'd feel pretty good about that. Crete, on the other hand, if they can make a stop here, they still got plenty of time to put together a drive and get one in the end zone.
Each team with a timeout remaining out of the pistol. They'll fake the handoff to Johnson. Mainz keeps it himself, and I think he's going to be dragged down short of the line to gain. Angel Martinez out of that middle linebacker spot has just been flying over the field. Team's leading tackler gets another right there, and it forces Beatrice to bring the punting unit on the field. Maybe not. Looks like the offense is going to stay out there.
I was thinking they're probably going to go for this on their side of the field. They want to hold on to this thing. Under 3 minutes to go.
Again, both teams with a timeout remaining, and Beatrice does get a carry for Mainz, who picks up the first down, and a lot more gets 6, and Beatrice moves the chains.
And Beatrice still has one timeout to work with as we are getting close to 2 minutes left in this first half. So there's plenty of time, especially with that timeout in their back pocket, to make something happen here.
We talked about Crew Mainz's running ability. 92 carries for 414 yards and 4 touchdowns coming into the game tonight. 7 carries for 43 so far. And out of an empty backfield, he pitches it to Taylor Schaaf on the jet sweep, and Schaaf tiptoes his way down the sidelines, and he's got a first down, gain of 14.
I mean, too many times Beatrice has been able to get to the edge, break, contain, as you mentioned, work down that sideline for a big chunk yardage plays. And it's all set up in that first quarter early on. Where were they doing most of their work? Between the tackles. That brings those linebackers in. Now these tailbacks have a lot of room to work with out on the perimeter.
Coming up on 2 minutes remaining, and Schaaf was shoved out of bounds, so the clock does stop at 2:06. First down, 10 to go at the 27 for the Orangemen. Mainz will empty the backfield once again, fakes the sweep to Hamilton, and Mainz plows forward and picks up about half the distance to the gain.
Pretty nifty little play there. So much motion going on. You got a couple linebackers to bite on that motion. That allowed those blocks to come in, get set, and Mainz to kind of navigate his way for a 4-5 yard gain on first down.
Yeah, it goes down as a 4-yard pickup. Crew Mainz last week against Norris, 8 carries, 61 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And again, Beatrice was pummeled in that one, 63-20. Blake Macklin, a near 300-yard game and about 3 quarters of work with 4 touchdowns. Beatrice playing well thus far here tonight. Jet sweep for Luke Hamilton, who gets down inside the red zone. Picks up a couple of yards, and it'll bring up third down.
Angel Martinez, just a fantastic job. Number 20, that outside linebacker for the Cardinals, tracking that one down, closing that distance, bringing up a 3rd and short here, not allowing for that first down run on second.
You saw Luke Hamilton on your screen there come up a little gimpy after that run. He's on the sidelines for this play with his helmet off, so we'll see if he comes back in here. That was a 6-yard pickup for the Hamiltons, senior the Hamilton. And it's a carry here for John Reeson, who gets towards the first down marker, then gets shoved back. Ball popped out again. I think he was down, but Beatrice hopped on it either way. Bowling and Martinez, who have done a lot of the heavy lifting on the tackling side of things tonight for the Cardinals, they tag team on the stop.
Just kind of felt like Martinez, those past couple of plays, has said, enough is enough. I'm coming up and I'm laying the wood.
So it brings up 4th down. Second time Beatrice will go for it on 4th. Mainz, the carry. It's going to be awfully close. Initial signal is that he is short. Did the ball pop out once again?
Crete Cardinals coaching staff, they're saying so. Boy, and that's going to be a point of emphasis for head coach Jeff Keisher and his entire staff with Beatrice. Ball security, guys, especially at the end of these runs.
And I couldn't tell if it popped out, or here we see the replay, or if it was just a stop.
Looks like it was just a stop, doesn't it?
Yeah, tough to see unless it pops out somewhere at the end, but you'd think in that position, Mainz would have control. But either way, Beatrice goes 1 for 2 on 4th down, drains a ton of clock. Inside a minute with just 1 timeout to work with for the Cardinals on offense, lining up from inside their own 20 at the 19. Crete hasn't shown the ability to go the distance so far tonight. We'll see if they can do it here. Linares, a run off the left side, picks up about 4 on 1st down.
But you saw how fired up the coaching staff was and the sideline was for Crete. You know, all the big plays, the splash plays that you can think of throughout that first half went the way of Beatrice. The Orangemen were making plays offensively, defensively. That was a big stop, something good that happened to the Crete Cardinals there, you know, build themselves a little bit of momentum heading into this halftime.
Shotgun set. Verton. Again, a handoff to Linares, and he runs right up the middle on the draw and picks up the first down, gets about 7.
You know, looking at his huddle footage throughout the week, that's what jumped out at me was his toughness, his strength, toting the rock.
That puts him at 50 yards in the first half. 9 carries for 50 yards. That one good for 7. And that's going to do it for the first half. Mark Newmeyer, content with letting the clock dwindle down. Andy Klassen will talk about all of this and much more at our halftime show. But quick thoughts on what we saw in the first 24 minutes.
Great start for Beatrice. They started fast and they hung in there. If they didn't give up a couple turnovers, Crete could be in a really bad way heading into halftime here. But that defense came up big, helped out the offense, only down 2 scores.
All right, we've reached the half here on NCN. Beatrice led 14-0 after the first. They lead 14-0 after the second. Highlights, analysis, much more coming up on our halftime show.
From the moment something didn't feel quite right, to that ambulance arriving at your door, from the immediate diagnosis to the surgery that followed, to the long list of lifestyle changes and that family gathering that everyone always talked about, but for whatever reason kept getting postponed, to the moment you sat back and realized how grateful you are for everything you have. We've been here for you, just around the corner. Columbus Community Hospital.
Life is a wild ride. It's important to have a trusted partner along the way. Liberty First Credit Union exists to provide its members with affordable financial services. Whether it is a large purchase, a new car or home remodel, overcoming obstacles, or chasing your dreams, financing life is what we do best. Give us a call or visit libertyfirstcu.com.
The Halftime Report on NCN is sponsored by Columbus Community Hospital, where your health matters.
My brother RJ had me believe that he knew exactly what he was taking, but I don't think that during those times he was ever necessarily sober. We lost RJ at 32 to a prescription opioid overdose.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Crete Public Schools, home of the Cardinals, Ken's You Safe Pharmacy in Crete, and by Citibank and Trust, located in Crete, member FDIC.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
It's the season. The excitement of going to sporting events, sitting in the bleachers, rooting for the neighbor kid that mowed your lawn, delivered papers, or played a few pranks in the neighborhood. The first stop, of course, though, is your local Speedy Mart convenience store. Fuel for the journey. Speedy Mart, your area store with Nebraska roots and community ties. No matter if it's a win or a loss, Speedy Mart can make you feel better before or after the game.
Some jobs are hard work. Long hours, busy days, late nights. But there's something in us that keeps us going when we know what we're doing is making a difference in someone's life. Because it's the hardest jobs that are the most important, and that pride you feel makes it more than worth the effort. NPPD, powering our state, empowering your life.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back in the future.
We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes, the wedding band, so we'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
Jake Bartecki, Andy Klassen, welcoming you back to the House of Orange, where Beatrice leads Crete 14-0 as the sky has gone dark here in southeast Nebraska on a cool, crisp evening. Andy, I think the big story here at the half, Beatrice is running the football really well.
Yeah, they really are, and you got to credit that senior-laden offensive line getting out, getting in front, opening up some really good running lanes for John Reese, and that was his first half, the junior tailback. Only 5'8", 165 pounds, but man, is he doing a really nice job running with patience, allowing blocks to be set in front of him, and then sticking that foot in the ground and getting upfield once a crease does develop.
Yeah, 12 carries, 106 yards for the junior tailback. Let's take a look at some of those highlights. Our halftime highlights are brought to you in part by Starter Heyman Jewelers. For all engagement collections, exceptional diamonds, and dazzling gemstones, go to their Lincoln and Grand Island stores. Here is that first long run of Reason's, the 37-yard touchdown. Beatrice went 5 plays, 65 yards on that opening drive to find the end zone. Here you see Luke Hamilton off the Angel Martinez punt into the wind. Good job tracking it with the wind at his back. Makes a few men miss, and then is able to turn it upfield. And Andy Klassen, the big block right there from Gavin Vanover, just a hair behind maybe finding the end zone.
But you see everybody's come to play in those pink jerseys here on Breast Cancer Aware Night, Senior Night, and Homecoming too.
Merrick Johnson finds the end zone for the third time this season, the sophomore that's come to life in the second half of the year. Then the next carry for Johnson, one he's going to want to forget. Holds the ball in his right hand, one hand. Angel Martinez says, I'll take that. Points the other way. Crete forces the fumble. Beatrice had a couple of problems with that. This is the first completion of the night for Crew Mines. Look at this. Looking for Trey Henning, the wideout. Has the ball deflected. It hits John Reeson in stride for 16 yards. And then, unfortunately, Beatrice, another problem with the football. There you see it, Auntie. Martinez rips the ball away again and then is able to recover it as well.
Yeah, Martinez has had himself a half, both offensively and defensively, but those last two times targeting the ball, jarring it loose.
2 forced fumbles for Martinez in the first half. Crete very, very pleased after that one, and that's where we leave things at the break. So 14-0 is our score. Let's take a look at some of the scores from around Class B in high school football. Final from Elkhorn. Blair tops the Antlers 28-21. How about this score, Andy? Number 5, Plattsmouth, all over Omaha Buena Vista, 50-zip with 11 minutes remaining in that one.
Yeah, pretty unbelievable. We knew that Plattsmouth was going to be a strong team and be a lot to handle in Class B, and boy, they're having their way with the new Buena Vista school.
And there you take a look at some of the rankings. Obviously, we just mentioned Plattsmouth. They're not in the NCN rankings at the moment, but I'm sure they're going to get there fairly soon. Bennington, Waverly, Elkhorn North, all the undefeated teams, 1, 2, 3. Then you see Scott Catholic at 4. Gross Catholic 5, and then a third team at 5 and 1 is Seward. They sit 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You see York, the last winning record team, and then you see a trio of 500 teams, Grand Island, Northwest, Blair, and Hastings. We talked about Blair, probably going to elevate a little bit in the rankings this week as they knocked off Elkhorn. Now, a couple other scores, Andy.
Yeah, you also have Gross Catholic there at number 5. They're in a little bit of a pickle. Norris is getting the better of them at halftime. 10-0. Waverly all over Gretna East, the new high school out there, 26-0 at halftime. You also have York for Seward.
Yeah, Seward's number 6 and
Yep.
York 7.
And York's got the better of them at the break, up 14-0.
All right. We'll be back on our halftime show after this. That's been a check of the rankings, check of the scoreboard. Beatrice leads at 14-0 here at the House of Orange.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The yellow jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people that we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast of the night.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services. The Halftime Report on NCN is sponsored by Columbus Community Hospital, where your health matters.
You're proud of the community you live in. Taking care of the people in it isn't a job, it's an honor. At John Henry's, we take pride in being relied upon by the great people of Lincoln and the surrounding areas. A hard day's work means a happy customer, and making happy customers has been our goal all along. A team of expert plumbers, drain specialists, and HVAC professionals, dedicated to finding solutions for our customers. Because for us, a successful day ends with a handshake and a smile. John Henry's, our family serving yours.
Champions are crowned each year in Lincoln. All of us at Visit Lincoln welcome the athletes, families, and fans from across Nebraska to our community. When the final whistle blows and the game ends, make sure to discover how Lincoln can make your stay even more memorable. Stop by the Visitor Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit us on the web at lincoln.org. Visit Lincoln is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Schaefer's. We're more than just TVs and appliances. And by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on X at NCN Sports for highlights, interviews, rankings, and more.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Hey there, sports fans. Looking for a winning play to make your game day complete? Look no further than Speedy Mart, your family-owned neighborhood convenience store. Score big with the wide range of snacks, drinks, and fuel for the road that will keep the whole crew cheering. And here's the kicker. Our friendly atmosphere and convenient location make every visit a slam dunk. So rally the family and head to Speedy Mart for the ultimate game day experience.
driving by on the highway, you'd never guess what this store holds. When you walk in, rest assured this small-town vet supply store has big city selection. There's a good chance if what you're looking for isn't in the back, they can order it for you. Luckily, you'll get the small-town friendly service and knowledgeable sales staff every step of the way. From vaccine help to renting a tux for your son's wedding. See the staff at Valley Vet Supply on Highway 36 in Marysville.
Valley Vet Supply.
There you see the Beatrice Lady Orange dance team on the field here. Giving a little show to the Beatrice faithful on what is a busy night, Andy, as we talked about. Homecoming night, parents' night, senior night, and pink out.
Yeah, and it was all due to, a couple of weather delays and weather things happening earlier this season, so they kind of got pushed back and bottled up all into one game. So we have multiple things going on here this evening.
Yeah, 14-0 the score at the half. Andy, the big difference in the game, we talked about it a little bit in the opening segment of the pregame show, but Beatrice running the football is really the big difference. That was this one, 180 rushing yards to just 45 for Crete.
Yeah, and you can bet head coach Mark Newmeyer is going to challenge his team during the halftime break here and say, look, guys, a lot of times we're in about the same position as we've been in before. You just got to get off blocks and make plays. We did see an adjustment where they're bringing an extra guy down in the box, an extra body down by that line of scrimmage, and it did work to a certain extent. But Beatrice continued to win those one-on-one matchups. That has to change for Crete in the second half.
John Reeson, easily the player of the first half, 12 carries, 106 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, just doing a fantastic job reading his blocks. You see that burst to his game. Great speed, especially when he gets to the edge. And that's where you saw those big plays when those running backs, predominantly John Reeson, was able to bounce it outside. On the other side, Crete, you can see what their offense is geared for, and that's rushing the football through that power rushing attack. However, Beatrice has really done a heck of a job limiting that, taking that away. They are daring that offense to move the ball through the air. There's been one-on-one matchups for them to try and take advantage of, and they haven't done so yet. Let's see if that Cardinal offense kind of shifts gears after halftime and looks to work the ball through the air, maybe a little bit more in the second half.
You know, one of the things we talked about before the game was how was Beatrice's offensive line, a group of seniors, going to match up against Crete's defensive line. You got a younger group there, a sophomore, a junior, and a senior. Yeah. I'd say Beatrice has won that battle.
They've won the battle. They won the battle throughout the first half. Can they sustain that throughout the second half and the rest of this game?
Yeah, we'll see if they can win the war. They won the battle. We'll see if they win the war. Teams are making their way back out onto the field. There's a look at the student section here, donned in pink for pink out night. Beatrice and Crete's second half is coming up on NCN.
Let your next adventure take flight in Sarpy County, Nebraska for some high-flying fun. Legendary family adventures. Out-of-this-world shopping. Star-studded evenings. And award-winning experiences. Our flights are never canceled. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USafe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Crete Public Schools, home of the Cardinals, Ken's USafe Pharmacy in Crete, and by Citibank and Trust, located in Crete, member FDIC.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Fuel your journey by starting at a Speedy Mart store near you. From the small communities in Nebraska to the larger cities, the staff at Speedy Marts are ready to serve you with food, fuel, and rewards. Save 5 cents per gallon with the Fuel Your Journey fill up plus additional bonus savings. Download the app for mobile pay, offering customers the highest quality branded food and treats, fresh, ready, and convenient. Check out SpeedyMart.com for locations and job opportunities.
A new year, a fresh start, a resolution to grow more, gain more, give more. The process is the same: plant, grow, harvest. But the way you do it is always evolving. And so are we, Aurora Cooperative. Grow, gain, give. Aurora and you.
Welcome back to the House of Orange. Andy Klassen, Jake Bartecki. Andy, a couple of keys for Beatrice to pull this off, maintain the lead, maybe a couple for Crete to make the comeback.
For Beatrice, it's ball security. They would have a lot bigger lead here, or would have had a chance to build on that lead had they not coughed the ball up multiple times in the first half. For the Crete Cardinals, they're going to have to change gears offensively. Just the defensive look that the Orangemen are giving them, they're not allowing these running backs, Cesar Linares, Angel Martinez, to bounce it outside and get those big chunk yardage plays. There's just too many bodies up by the line of scrimmage. You're going to have to rely on your quarterback, senior Reese Burton, to move the ball through the air.
Crete will have the ball to start the second half. Beatrice won the toss, Crete won the toss, and they elected to defer their choice here to the final 24 minutes. Again, the big difference in the ball game, 186 rushing yards for Beatrice. They average, coming in tonight's game, 136, so well beyond that. Crete at just 45, so we'll see if maybe the Cardinals can turn the tables here. Trevin Lang will boot it away with that strong 14-mile-an-hour wind out of the north at his back. We're looking at 47 degrees as we get this second half started. Kodal, as well as looks like Martinez in the backfield to return this one. And Kodal will take it across the field. Gets to the 20 to the 25, and he's run out of bounds. A flag comes in, thrown to the ground on the sideline.
Oh, and it was a late flag, too. That was a return left the whole way. Carson Kodal did get to the edge, was able to bounce it outside, get upfield. Nice return, but, there's the dreaded holding call late on the return, bringing it back.
That's going to set Crete back up inside their own 20-yard line. Talk a little bit about this Beatrice defense, Andy. I've been really impressed with what they've done. Reese Burton, not a single completion in the first half. He's 0 for 3 and just 45 total rushing yards.
Boy, and I think you got to talk about the other quarterback, right? Crew Mines from that free safety position. He's rallied up. He's made tackles in space. We've seen him break up a couple of passes. So you're really seeing the defensive backs, answering the call, answering the bell here for the Orangemen.
Burton out of the double shotgun as the handoff goes to Linares. Again, Linares, 9 carries for 50 yards in the first half, gets the first down run here and picks up about 5.
Yeah, no surprise there that head coach Mark Neumeier kind of sends a message like, no, we're going to run the ball. We're only down 2 scores, plenty of time. We're going to lean into our strengths offensively.
Second down and 5 after the carry by Linares. That was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Oh, look at that left side, H-back, extra tight end, and that's where they're running it.
They run it that way, but Beatrice sniffs it out. Silas Benson pounds his chest, makes the stop in the backfield.
Boy, and it just kind of appeared to me that a couple of guys out on the edge there, they did a chip block, and then they were looking for the next line. You got to stay with your block, allow that running back to at least get past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Linares' season high is 20 carries for 144 yards and a couple of touchdowns. That was his 11th carry right there. So maybe on pace to set a new season high here tonight in terms of the number of carries Mark Newmeyer gives him. But right now, 3rd and 5 after the no-gain run and the tackle by Benson for Beatrice. Verton, a 5-step drop, throws it to the left side. It's tipped in the air, and John Reeson almost adding another element to his game tonight, but we'll take the PBU if you're a Beatrice fan. Knocked away, and Verton now 0 for 4 through the air.
That did look like a tip drill here. The Reeson, great job high pointing the ball. I tell you what, if a little bit more would have been put on that one, that could have went over the over the top and might have been a house call. I like the play call, just got to get a little bit more air under it.
Martinez to kick it away. I'm looking down at the Nebraska score. Heinrich Harburg just ran for a 25-yard touchdown. Cooper Hayden will down this one around the 44-yard line. But how about that, Andy? 17-0 Big Red.
Hey, we're giving you collegiate score updates. We also gave you a bunch of Class B high school updates. We're doing a little bit of everything here from the booth.
So Beatrice starts here just shy of the 45 at the 44. And we get to see this Orangeman offense for the first time in the second half. Defense did their job, got a 3 and out. And now we'll see if John Reeson can build on his monster first half. Again, if you're just joining us, the first drive of the game for Beatrice was 5 plays, 65 yards, all on the legs of John Reeson, including a 37-yard touchdown. And he runs to the right here and picks up about 2 on the first offensive play of the third quarter for the Orangemen.
Short gain on first down, but you knew, or you kind of felt like that's how Beatrice was going to kickstart their offense here after the halftime break. Get right back into that Maryland power rush football.
2nd down and 7 to go. Fully loaded shotgun here. Reeson looking for the edge at midfield, and then he's taken down. Tackle there.
Martinez.
Oscar Ortiz.
Oh, I thought Angel Martinez tracked him down once again. I mean, it looked like he had room, looked like he got the edge, but look at that closing speed, and you are exactly right.
Martinez is in there at the end, though. Don't think he was far away.
He wasn't, but Ortiz did just a fantastic job stringing that one out, making the open field tackle, and you mentioned it there. Martinez was right there to clean anything up.
It's a 1-yard pickup for Reeson. 2 carries for 3 yards on this possession. And it brings up 2nd down and 7 to go.
Going to see an extra blocker enter the game. Couple substitutions here for the Orangemen. Wearing pink tonight.
Wearing pink indeed. We do have a flag on the play as well.
Too many men in the huddle?
Either too many men or you almost wonder about a delay of game here. Well, there's the call, so that pushes Beatrice back. Don't know what I've ever seen that signal, Andy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they just had too many men on the field, period.
Yeah. A lot of substitutions there for the Orangemen. It backs them up, makes this a 3rd down and very long here. Out of the shotgun. Mines sends a man in motion. He rolls left, has to get rid of it. Pass is tipped and scooped out of the ground by Reeson. And he gets hit hard and loses even more yardage. So not the offensive possession Jeff Keiser and company were looking for out of the gates here in the second half.
Coach Newmeyer dialing up a blitz, saying, I know you got something cooked up here on 3rd and long. We're not having any of it. We're not allowing anything to develop downfield. We're putting the pressure on, and you see why right there. Bang, bang play. Beatrice fortunate that was a completion.
A loss of 8. And now John Reeson has both receptions for any pass catcher tonight for Beatrice.
That'll hurt the average, though, a loss of 8.
I would say
reception.
So. Yeah, he has 2 receptions for 8 yards, which means Crew Mines so far this evening 2 for 5 for 8 yards. No fake punt here for Henning. He kicks it right to Oscar Ortiz, who's able to field that one right at the 40. And that's where the Cardinals will start. 1st down and 10 to go. So the Beatrice defense won the first battle of the second half, got a 3 and out. What does the Crete offense need to do here to maybe finally break through with a big play?
Well, I don't know. You can tell that the coaching staff's trying a little bit of everything, going with offset lines, bringing extra blockers to one side, but the tenacity that this Orangeman defense is playing with continues here into this third quarter. They're just getting off blocks, making plays. You saw Crete go to the pass on 3rd and long, but that's when it was a little predictable. Still got the one-on-one matchup, unable to connect.
First down and 10 to go at the 40 for the Cardinals. Pistol set. Burton with a pitch to the right for Linares, who drags some defenders, and that is the Cesar Linares that we have seen in the past.
Yeah, and that was an opportunity there where he could have tried to bounce it outside, could have tried to get up the sideline, but he saw a line, and he just stuck that right foot in the ground, got upfield, and that's what I'm talking about, that power that he runs with. Took multiple defenders to bring him down.
And that gets Crete into Beatrice territory on one play. 11 yards, puts him at 66 on the night on 12 carries. First down, 10 to go, Cardinals.
That's a tough 66 yards as well. The defense that the Orangemen are playing here tonight.
You could say that again. And Linares, another carry here down inside the 40. And again, a run where he drags some tough defenders.
And I mean, he took a shot towards the tail end of this play, and it just kept moving forward. That was unbelievable what he was able to do, running right up the gut.
2 of the longer carries on the night for Cesar Linares, who now sits at 75 yards, gains of 11 and 9 on his last 2 runs. Svidok, the tight end, in motion from left to right. Fully loaded shotgun. And this time it's off tackle with Linares. Sets up the blocks, a flag comes in, and Reese Verton throws his hands up in the air and bends over in misery as he knows a hold is going to bring this one back.
He knew it was a hold right away, and referee Jeff Pappas called the hold right away. This one's coming back. And you see, how often do you see that? When it's a toss play or something trying to, get to the edge there. You get those blockers in, trying to cover a lot of space. They're trying to help their guy out. That time just a little too much jersey got pulled away, and you think maybe the neon pink makes it a little bit more visible.
And there you see the hold against Crete. Here's a look at it on our Beatrice Community Hospital and Health Center instant replay.
You saw it on the right side of your screen there, the Beatrice defender with his arms up in the air.
Not to mention a nice tackle at the end of the play by Trey Henning. Textbook.
It was.
So second down and 11 after the penalty. Halfway through the third quarter, inside 7 minutes to play in the frame. Still looking for our first points of the second half. Svidok again in motion, fully loaded shotgun, and Angel Martinez, who's been a man amongst boys on the Crete defense, gets a carry, but Beatrice wins another battle there. Good tackle by Alex Busboom.
That's just rough. It's like the Beatrice coaching staff's in the playbook right now because Colton Herfel, the linebacker, actually blitzed the gap that play was supposed to go through, missed the tackle. He was frustrated, but he still blew the play up and allowed other defenders to close in and shut that play down before it even had a chance for any success.
Martinez has run the ball twice tonight, no gain on either run. Our third quarter brought to you in part by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of your pain, not just the symptoms. 2 wide receivers in the formation. It's Bowling on the right side, and that's who he's looking for. Bowling, did he hang on to it? The ball hit the ground, and they're going to call it a completion. Boy, oh boy, there's a flag on the play as well, but for now it's a big gain. Here's a look at it, Andy Klassen.
It appeared to me that he caught the ball, but we're pretty far away. Defender was getting into him. Oh, I don't know. That might have hit the turf there,
well,
Jay.
Boy, oh, boy. I had the binoculars up on it. I didn't want to say that it was a completion. It's a pass interference. The penalty declined, as you can see, and it's the first completion of the night for Reese Verton.
I believe the officials got together and called it right. Said incomplete, but they still had the pass interference. Give him 15 yards. Good for the first down.
Yeah, so it sets Crete up inside the 25 at the 23. A completion of 27 yards to Bowling.
How good has this crew been tonight? You know, initially that was called a catch. They got together, came together, called the penalty, administered it, then also got the call right, reversing it into the incompletion.
14-0 game could become a lot closer here on our way to the fourth quarter as Crete has it down at the 23. First positive yard run of the night for Angel Martinez, but he does not get much. Gage Walter on the stop for Beatrice. He picks up 3.
You know, Jake, they might have actually called that a completion.
I think they did.
Well, what he was saying, they declined.
Declined the penalty,
yeah. Whoops. Still got a good crew out here tonight.
I would say so, yeah. Boy, oh boy, though, it was a close one. I think that's the kind of one where if you had video replay, they might call that incomplete, like in college or the NFL.
We zoomed in on it and slowed it down, and Svitak sold it so well and just kind of caught it in stride and used a little bit of the turf to help it out.
So that was Verton's first completion on the night, and getting bottled up in the backfield here is Martinez. Great job by Alex Busboom. We talked about the challenge this Orangeman defense was going to have tonight with Byron Ostick out sick. Yep. Alex Busboom, Colton Herfel, Taylor Schaaf, they've all stepped up.
And they've stayed aggressive. The coaching staff is allowing them to really pin their ears back and get after it, especially on first and second down. And now you got them in third and long, so you can put that safety over the top, which is exactly what Beatrice has been doing throughout this third quarter.
6-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd down and 14 from outside the 25 to the 27.
Extra pressure, safety over the top.
Here's a throw over the middle, and it is incomplete. Ball hit the ground. A near interception downfield by John Reeson. Boy, oh boy, 2 close interceptions and a monster game running the football. John Reeson can do no wrong.
Yeah, and it looked like there was some contact there, and Bowling was looking for the call. Didn't get it, and Beatrice almost came away with an INT interception.
Well, this is definitely 4-down territory for Mark Newmeyer. Crete 4 of 9 on 4th down this season. The speedy Kenson Spence, who has not caught a pass tonight, to line up outside. And we've got a whistle and a timeout called by the Cardinals. Mark Newmeyer burns the first of his 3 timeouts with 3:51 remaining in the third quarter. It'll be a big 4th down coming up after this.
After 77 years of serving Lincoln, what else is there to say other than thank you for making our family-owned business part of your family. Everyday life and style are what LG appliances are designed for. During Schaefer's 77th anniversary, you can take advantage of LG rebates, free local delivery, and up to 36 months interest-free financing to improve your family's lifestyle with LG. Schaefer's, your local, family-owned tradition for 77 years.
We welcome you back to the House of Orange, where it's a 4th down and 14 coming up for the Cardinals from the 27-yard line.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot of 4th and long type of plays in the playbook, especially if you are a run-oriented offense. You have those one-on-one opportunities on 1st and 2nd down. Then you're seeing a really nice job of Crete shifting gears and getting some more help in the back 7 and 3rd and long and 4th and long, as you see here.
Yeah, again, Crete 4 of 9 on the year on 4th down. Verton dropping back, rolling out right. Under pressure, and he goes down. He didn't see Colton Herfel on the blind side, and he gets a sack and a 4th down stop.
Boy, and you only had a couple receivers running routes there for Crete. You had extra protection. Give Beatrice a lot of credit across the board. The back 7 held up. The coverage was there, and there wasn't much time to work with because the guys up front got to the quarterback.
13-yard loss gives Beatrice a bunch of more yards on the offensive play here. As Beatrice will start at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10. 2 wide receivers right, empty out wide to the left. 3:44 remaining in the third. Merrick Johnson gets the fake handoff, and it's Meintz, the quarterback, to keep it himself, and a flag flies in.
Might have another one of those holding calls. Going to back it up 10 yards here.
And Beatrice has been able to avoid those for much of the night.
They really have. Their biggest, bugaboo, you could say, is the turnovers, but they're still holding a 2-score lead here, so they've been able to kind of dodge that bullet thus far.
There you see, it might have been out of frame, but brings up a first down and 17 on the spot foul on the hold. So that puts Beatrice back at the 25. Kind of a sluggish game offensively for both sides here in the third quarter.
To be expected, though. You have two teams that want to enforce their will. They want to run the football, send a message. And for Beatrice, it just makes more and more sense to stay with the running game, shorten this game, kind of bleed out some time here throughout the second half, sitting on a 2-score lead.
And another penalty here for Beatrice. And this is a theme with this Orangeman team. You go back a couple of weeks ago to that Plattsmouth game. Beatrice committed 4 straight false start penalties right out of the gates in the third quarter. And you're starting to see it here, obviously halfway to that mark, but a false start.
And Plattsmouth, and you could even say Crete, they're having a pretty good season. Those are teams you don't want to commit those type of penalties against.
So it brings up a first down and even longer, 22 from the 20. Meintz tried to audible, and Jeff Keisher did not like what he saw.
Ooh.
And he is fired up on the sidelines, and he is going to burn the first of his 3 timeouts. There you see the Orangeman coach about to talk it over with his group. 2:52 to play in the third. Orangeman still on top 14-0.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy. NCN Sports is brought to you by Schaefer's. We're more than just TVs and appliances. And by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on X at NCN Sports for highlights, interviews, rankings, and more.
We welcome you back to the House of Orange, where Beatrice comes out of their first time out of the second half. Jeff Keisher wanted to talk things over. Couple of penalties pushes Beatrice back into a first and very long. Need 22 to pick up the first down. We'll see if the offense can get back into rhythm. Again, my name's Jake Bartecki. Andy Klassen here in the News Channel Nebraska broadcast booth with me in Beatrice. Orangeman on top, 14-zip. Meintz will drop back, feels the pressure, evades it, is able to set his feet, looking for someone to throw to, and he looked for Trey Henning and skipped it to him on the near side. Pass falls incomplete.
Well, Henning did a nice job trying to help his quarterback out, working back to the football. Meintz almost made the completion here, but, he was under a lot of distress, broke a couple of tackles. Nice job, though, keeping his eyes downfield.
And he threw it away in a safe position as well.
Right, and that's another thing. Take care of the football.
So second down and 22 coming up after the incomplete pass. Fully loaded shotgun here for the Orangemen. Not in their pink uniforms on the pink out night. Meintz a carry off the left side, picks up about 5 or 6.
Little misdirection there, but clearly not enough to make a threat at the first down. Going to bring up a third and very long.
Pickup of 5. Puts him at 52 rushing yards on 9 carries so far here this evening. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Zollner Lincoln Ford, right up the road here on Highway 77 in Beatrice. So third down and very long. Beatrice has been very efficient on third down, 4 of 6, but they have yet to face one of this magnitude. Meintz will throw it in the flat, hits Reeson. He's not a decoy as a receiver, tried to turn it upfield. but he gets swarmed and is brought down. First man there, Garrett Rockenbach for Crete.
Yeah.
And Beatrice will punt.
That ain't all bad, playing it conservative there at 3rd and a mile. You have the wind to your back. It has not let up whatsoever, so you get a punt with the wind at your back. Probably the last time you're going to take advantage of that this game, as we will flip field position here between the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Looks like John Reeson a little slow to get up on that play, as he looks like he might be having a cramp worked out. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. 4th down coming up for the Orangemen.
It's pretty hard to find quicker service, nicer people, or anyone who cares more when filling your prescriptions in Kin's Pharmacy in Crete. After all, the drive-thru makes your wait time minimal, and Kin and Carrie are reliable pharmacists. It's so much more. Helpful advice, accurate refills, and a large selection of over-the-counter products. So don't just take my word for it. Try Kin's Pharmacy for yourself, whether it's in the drive-thru, inside, or with mail-out service, because Kin's You Save Health Mart Pharmacy to care for you. Kin's Pharmacy in Crete, caring for you and about you.
Welcome back to the House of Orange. John Reeson was able to walk off to the sidelines under his own power. Beatrice faces a 4th and long, and they will get set to punt here. 2 back to return for the Cardinals. That's Cottle as well as Oscar Ortiz. Troy Henning standing just outside the 10, getting ready to boot it away. With the wind at his back, ball skips to Henning, and he loses it. He might have to take off and run, which he does, gets across the 20, and Crete drives him out around the 24. A botched snap, and that was not a fake punt like we saw in the first half.
That had disaster written all over it. You saw Henning try to field it. He's lucky he wasn't just on his knee there initially. And that was a max return, as he had 2 backs looking to field that one. But with the bobble, the low snap, another mistake on special teams here.
That doesn't go down as a turnover, rather a turnover on downs for Beatrice. The last time Crete got it down inside the 25, Beatrice forced a 4th down turnover on downs. Verton to the sidelines, looks for Bowling, and he bobbles it out of bounds. Coverage there from Gavin Vanover. Pass falls incomplete. A lot of contact, no flag.
And that's a really tough pass to defend that back shoulder there. And, that Verton, I thought he put a pretty nice ball out there, and Bowling's having a tough night from the receiver's spot. That's a really tough catch, and yeah, there was some contact there, but I think if you talk to Theo Bowling, he wants that one back.
Just 1 completion on the night for Reese Verton, and it was to Theo Bowling for 27 yards. Verton 1 of 6. That'd be the fewest completions on the year. His least is 4. Linares on an off-tackle run here delivers a shot to Merrick Johnson. The sophomore gets a little hello, how you doing from the senior, and that brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, a little message at the tail end of this play here from Cesar Linares. Oh, my goodness.
So a pickup of 8 brings up 3rd and 2. Linares now 14 carries, 83 yards. Again, coming into this game, Crete 28% on 3rd down.
And this is where Beatrice has been able to defend very well throughout the evening. 3rd and short, 3rd and medium. They've won more than half.
3rd down and 2. Fully loaded shotgun. Beatrice blings a blitz, and they go to Linares, does Crete. It's going to be close. Right now, the initial signal would be that he is about a yard short. Beatrice's defense wins it again.
Obviously, Crete's going to go for it here. Down 2 scores, down 14. And I think that was the mindset with that call right up the gut. We have 2 plays to make up a couple of yards here.
Colton Herfel with the tackle. Had the sack that forced the 4th down turnover on downs on the last possession, did Herfel. Now this is a no-brainer here. Much different scenario than that 4th and 14 where Herfel got the sack. This a 4th and 1. Ball spotted at the 16. Half a minute to go in the 3rd. Crete trying to make this a much different game down the stretch. The carry to Linares, and he gets the 1st down and rumbles his way to the 10.
The initial rush, got through but was unable to make the play. Linares blows by him. Big gain there on 4th and short.
Linares closing in on 100 yards. That'd be his third straight game of 100 yards or more rushing. Fully loaded shotgun. Linares off tackle. Dragged down from behind by Colton Herfel. Looks like that's a loss of a yard on the play and the final play of the third quarter. 36 minutes down, a dozen to go. Beatrice still leads at 14-0 after a scoreless third. We'll have the conclusion next on NCN.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USafe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
A scoreless third quarter keeps us right where we are and where we've been since the end of the first. 14-0, Beatrice on top. But Andy Crete is knocking on the door. 2nd down and 11 to go. It's a 2nd and goal situation, so 2nd down goal to go after a loss on the first play. How big would it be to punch this in?
It'd be huge. They really need to get something going positive on offense. And you can see the bunch formation. They want to run the rock, but Beatrice.
Here's a throw to the end zone. Bowling is just short, and he's down at the 1.
Made the catch. Love the play call coming out of the break there. You know, showing a typical running formation, then getting that 1-to-1 out on the edge. Great catch from Bowling. And, oh, you saw the ball come out late there. Officials saying that he secured the catch and made a football move before he went down and lost the handle.
Oh, they're going to rule this an incomplete pass.
Oh, boy.
Boy, oh, boy. They're going to say he was not in bounds. Wow.
Boy, see, all those type of plays, the 50-50 balls and calls, they've all gone the way of Beatrice here tonight, and it's because they're earning it. They are out there making plays, jarring that ball out late, not allowing Bowling to go down with it.
What a break for Beatrice as well. That would have been the second completion of the night for Reese Verton.
You could say they're making their breaks, though.
Verton out of the gun to the middle, and the pass is caught for a touchdown. The ball looked like it skipped. Beatrice thought so as well. Kenson Spence, who's been quiet all night, makes the touchdown reception to cut the lead in half.
Just a fantastic route here from Spence.
He was able to scoop it out of the ground, wasn't he, Andy?
Yep, he got his arm underneath the ball, too, when he did roll around there. Great route, great adjustment to the low ball, securing the catch, and looks like I thought they might be lining up to go for 2 there.
I don't know.
They got the kicking unit out.
Yeah, Angel Martinez on PATs this season, 7 of 8. The kick is on its way. It is up and good. And the lead is cut in half. We have a 1-score game the rest of the way here in the fourth quarter in Beatrice. 14-7, 11:44 to go. Kenson Spence cash it in on an 11-yard touchdown pass.
If you're thinking about becoming a John Deere technician, receive a debt-free degree from Landmark Implement. With the John Deere Student Tech program, receive reimbursement for up to 100% of college tuition, fees, books, and room and board, plus a $5,000 tool stipend. Students are paid a competitive hourly wage for their work hours and are guaranteed employment at a Landmark location after graduation. Visit landmark.careers to find out more about the John Deere Student Tech program and become part of the Landmark difference.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
Kenson Spence from Reese Verton, the second touchdown of the year for Spence. Touchdown pass number 5 on the season for Verton. Most important statistic, Andy. It's a one-score game.
Right.
Cuts the lead in half, 14-7.
And plenty of time. You don't have to hit the panic button or switch things up too much. You have an entire fourth quarter basically to work with.
And the return here by Merrick Johnson. Not the fastest runner, but he can run you over, and he gets it past the 30 to about the 32-yard line. That's where Beatrice will start. First down and 10 to go. And, Andy, this is the question I'm going to pose to you because I think it's pretty obvious what Beatrice is going to try to do here. They've had a lot of success running the football. 14 carries, 101 yards for John Reeson. But you got to know that Crete is going to expect you to run the football, and you can't just burn clock if you're not picking up first downs.
Hey, it's senior night, right? I think if you're an Orangeman fan, this is what you'd want to see. Your seniors up front, Benson, Wolter, Burke, Skoll, Glenn. Hey, it's on you guys. It's your night. Can you take us the rest of the way to victory here?
First carry of the drive for Beatrice. Run from Merrick Johnson. The sophomore's been quiet. Just his second carry of the night. Of course, he had the fumble, but he also had the touchdown run as well. And he gets about 3 yards there.
When he's able to get to that second line, that second level of the defense, and he makes that quick little jitterbug move, that's when he's really been able to make those home run style of plays. Crete playing it straight up, doing a really nice job not allowing these running backs to get outside and get to that second level. Uh-oh.
High snap. Mainz is able to pick it up. He'll just slide down.
Boy, that's a tough play, and we've seen it a couple of times with the high snaps. Mainz has been able to go up and get it. You know, a gifted basketball player on the hardwood here tonight, unable to climb the ladder and get that one.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by the Lincoln Convention and Bureau Center. Visit Lincoln, the capital city of Nebraska. So a big loss there, Andy. That goes down as a loss of 12. This momentum, you almost feel it starting to shift a little bit here, the way of the Cardinals. Throw downfield. Henning, did he have a foot down? He did not.
He still went up and got it. I like the placement there from Mainz. Throwing it to where only his guy can make a play at it. Kind of a smart heave down the sideline, you know, trying to make something happen, but not forcing something into a tight window.
And as I mentioned, you talk about the momentum shifting to Crete. Now they're about to get the ball back here with a lot of time left here to tie this thing up.
Yeah, and now the wind comes back into factor, right? Yeah. Beatrice punting this ball into the wind, and that's why you mentioned at the break, Crete did a good job being aware of the situation, understanding they wanted the win at their backs in the fourth quarter.
Fourth down and 23. Henning to punt. Ortiz and Kodal back to return for Crete. It's in the direction of Ortiz, and it takes a Crete bounce, and Busboom's able to field it. So Crete will start the drive in plus territory, down a touchdown with 10 minutes remaining.
And that's kind of been of a change from first half to second half. The battle, you know, the game within the game of field position. That first half, Beatrice was taking advantage, you know, of some short fields. And you just didn't see much of the Crete Cardinal offense breaking that 50-yard line. It's kind of been the opposite here in the second half.
And the Crete Cardinals found the end zone for the first time on their last possession. They start on the ground here from the 46.
Jeez. Even on a half-yard carry, I'm still impressed with Linares just not going down. A few extra black helmets in on to make the tackle. Good job pursuing to the football.
Yeah, that'll go down as a gain of 1. Brings up second down and 9. Stick around after the game for our coaches post-game show. Andy will be down on the field, talk to the winning team's head coach, maybe a player of the game. It's all brought to you in part by Sarpy County Tourism. So second down and 9 after the half-yard pickup for Linares. And a whistle comes in, and Beatrice calls a timeout. Not something Beatrice wanted to do there. They call their second timeout. They have 1 remaining, still with 9:19 left on the clock. We'll step aside. Beatrice up 14-7. Welcoming everybody back to the House of Orange. My name is Jake Bartecki. Seated to my left, Andy Klassen, Tyler, Danny, the great crew here at the House of Orange, bringing this one to you in high definition on News Channel Nebraska. 14-7 the score. Beatrice on top of Crete in plus territory, 2nd and 10 from the 46, and a pistol set here for Reese Verton with Linares behind him in the backfield. Beatrice brings the pressure. Pass is tipped in the air and nearly intercepted.
Fantastic job there. Kale Koch showed blitz, but then fell back into pass coverage right away. Got on his horse, got back into the lane there. Almost came away with an interception. Excellent job of deceiving the quarterback there, kind of luring him into that dangerous pass play.
So it brings up 3rd down. And Verton still, Andy, with just 2 completions on the night.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pass over the middle, I tell you what, disguised perfectly by that Beatrice defense.
3rd down and 10 to go from the 46, possibly the biggest 3rd down of the ball game for both the offense and the defense. Option left for Verton. Keeps it himself, gets hit hard and driven down. Merrick Johnson, the sophomore, with the stop. That's the fill-in for Byron Ostick.
Yeah, doing an excellent job rolling up, making the play. You actually had a blitz to the center of your screen. It appeared that Crete might have got the look they wanted with the additional pressure coming inside and them running around it, but you mentioned the fill-in doing a fantastic job getting out. Merrick Johnson making the play.
And this is very obviously 4-down territory for Mark Neumeyer's Cardinals. Crete, 1 for 2 on 3rd down, 5 for 10 on the year. 1 for 2 tonight, that is. Shotgun set. Spence out wide left. Snap hit the ground. Verton throws across the field. Nobody home, and Beatrice gets another turnover on downs.
And it was listed at 4 and 5. That was a long 5 yards, and that was another dangerous pass. But, I mean, Verton was running for his life. Had to try and make something happen there. Just nobody home.
So Beatrice will take over 1st and 10 from their own 41, trying to nurse a touchdown lead. Got to take more than 55 seconds off the clock, which is all they took off on their last offensive possession.
And not go backwards, right? No more silly penalties. You know, head coach Keiser and his staff, they were pulling their hair out thinking, my goodness, you know, we still got the lead. We had a 2-score lead at that last drive. Let's take care of the football, but do our thing and operate through this ground game.
Pistol set. Mainz runs to his left and goes down. Logan Bessler with the sack. There might have been miscommunication on the exchange. Bessler saw it and took it.
I think you're exactly right. It looked like the back went one way and Mainz went for the handoff on the other side. And an opportunistic defender, Logan Bessler, all over it.
So that brings up 2nd down and 12 from the 39.
Bessler, only a sophomore, but he's got some size to him.
Yeah, tough player, lines up at tight end, fullback. Swiss Army knife offensively and defensively, and so is this guy, Merrick Johnson, runs forward, gets a big stop on 3rd down. Now gets a big chunk yardage gain to get some of that lost yardage back.
Those are those quick hitters, Jake, those quick hitter plays that the Orangemen were operating so well in the first half, and Crete made the adjustments during the halftime break and really bottled it up. Going to bring up a 3rd and 4 here.
And again, Beatrice likely needs to win these last 2 games. Here tonight against Crete, on the road next week against Lincoln Pius to make the playoffs. Crete, not quite a lock, but you'd think so.
Right.
Trying to play for some seeding. Little trouble between Cook and Johnson in the exchange, but Johnson's able to regather himself and get close to a 1st down. Bowling in there on the tackle.
Another big shot there delivered by Theo. Bowling rallying up, making the stop short of the 1st down, but oh my goodness, I think Beatrice offense is going to go for it here.
Near midfield with going into the wind. We'll see how they do. They're going to bring in that I package. 2 wideouts in the formation. Mainz keeps it himself. It was a long yard. What's the call?
Boy, both sidelines are pointing in opposite directions here. Crete thinks that they got the stop.
And the ball right now, if it's where the pile is, they got the stop.
We're going to have a measurement, aren't we?
It's going to depend on the measurement and the spot.
Game of inches.
And there's the public address announcement. Timeout for measurement. Well, where the ball is now, from where I'm looking at it through my binoculars, I think they might have it based off that spot.
Gonna pull the chain tight here.
And they get the stop to the Crete Cardinals.
Not by much. I mean, you're looking at 1, maybe 2 inches there from the nose of the football and the sticks there. Wow, what a stop at midfield. All right, Beatrice rolled the dice a couple times in the first half. Remember the fake punt? Got it to go their way. Second half, roll the dice again at midfield. Doesn't go their way. Can the Cardinals capitalize here midway through the fourth?
And they take over just shy of midfield at the 49. First down and 10 to go. Still a lot of time left in this one, too. 6:22. Verton out of the pistol. Martinez has had a slow night tonight. Gets the pitch right here. Flag comes in. Gets it down towards the 45 before he was knocked out by Busboom.
I think you're going to have a hold. Yep, a hold out on the edge here.
I think the hold went against Theo Bowling, the wide receiver.
And he was kind of shaking his head. I think he knew flag might be coming his way.
There's the block. Yep, right on Alex Busboom, 45.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. I do think there's something to those neon pink jerseys. Make it a little bit easier for these officials to see.
See the gloves, see
right.
the hands, yeah. Of course, a lot of the Cardinals wearing white gloves as well. So that'll set up a first down and 20, 6 minutes remaining.
So a positive play, a 4 or 5 yard gain goes to a 10-yard loss.
Martinez still in the backfield, and he gets the carry off tackle. Fooled the Beatrice linebackers, and not quite all the penalty yardage is gotten back, but he gets back about 7 or 8 of it.
Got much of it back, but you're still down a play here. Going to bring up, like you mentioned here, 2nd and 12, 2nd and 11.
Yeah. Pickup of 9. And that puts Martinez back in the positive on rushing yards. 5 carries, 5 yards.
If you had a play action play, this is a time. This is a spot for it right here.
2nd and 11 near midfield. They opt to go with Linares again, and he's grabbed by the ankle by Crew Mine. So that seems to be the tackling strategy for Crew Mine side. Grab somebody by their ankle, trip them up.
I go low. I'm a defender. I know that's not a popular thing to say, and especially in the pro ranks, but if I'm giving up some size, even if I'm not, I want to secure the tackle. How do I do that? I take away their legs.
That run puts Linares over 100 yards. 18 carries, 101 on the night. Still looking for a touchdown, but he's over 100 yards for the 3rd time this season, each of those coming in the last 3 games. 3rd down and 6. Linares with another carry here. Missed tackle, turns it upfield. Ran out of bounds, short of the line to gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And I think that was Crete's mindset on 2nd and long. We have 3 plays to try and make up this yardage. An obvious go-for-it situation here on 4th and short.
It's a pickup of 4 for Linares, and it brings up a 4th down and 3 to go. Tonight's game brought to you in part by United Healthcare. Auntie, do you like the call to go for it on 4th?
Yeah, you got to go for it here, right? I mean, you're down a score. If you want to sneak out of here with a win in regulation, you need 2 scores and just over 5 minutes left. You're running out of time.
Crete will call a timeout. Both teams will have just 1 remaining in the final 5 minutes and 4 seconds here at the House of Orange. Beatrice looking to try and get a late stop, shift this game very much in their favor. They lead by a touchdown.
You're proud of the community you live in. Taking care of the people in it isn't a job, it's an honor. At John Henry's, we take pride in being relied upon by the great people of Lincoln and the surrounding areas. A hard day's work means a happy customer, and making happy customers has been our goal all along. A team of expert plumbers, drain specialists, and HVAC professionals, dedicated to finding solutions for our customers. Because for us, a successful day ends with a handshake and a smile. John Henry's, our family serving yours.
Both teams with just one timeout remaining as it's 4th down and 2 to go. 5 minutes to play. Crete with the offense still out on the field out of their own timeout. Snap back to Verton and motion up front. Motion on both sides of the line of scrimmage with the indication is a
Offsides.
Neutral zone infraction against Beatrice that gives the Cardinals the first down. My goodness.
Oh, what a blunder of a play there. As you saw it start to develop left, looked like they might have been able to make a stop. Someone got in there just a little too early.
Jeff Keisher very frustrated. Not sure if he's frustrated with the official, his player, both.
Well, you might have had an offensive lineman move, but if you got a defender who jumped the gun and got in that neutral zone, that's the correct call.
First down and 10 to go from the 38. Snap back to Verton. Takes a shot down the sidelines. Bowling goes up for it against Vanover, and the pass falls incomplete.
Well, that was fantastic coverage right there. Vanover sticking in with it and allowing the ball to come down, and that's when he makes his play and punches that out. You can see he gives up a little bit of size, stayed in his back pedal the whole way.
So that puts Verton at 2 for 10 through the air. And again, one of those completions, a touchdown of 11 yards to Kenson Spence. 2nd down and 10 to go from the 38 inside Orangeman territory. Also inside 5 minutes to play. Martinez again. We've seen a bit more of Angel Martinez on this drive, Andy. 6th carry of the ball game, 4th of the drive.
Yeah, and that's what this Crete Cardinal offense can do. They like to be multiple, give you different looks, different backs from different backs throughout the game. And a lot of times in this 4th quarter, that's Angel Martinez time. After Linares kind of wears you down, you get a different look, a different style of back coming at you.
Yeah, him and Linares combining for 6.5 yards per carry and 13 touchdowns. Martinez coming into tonight, 409 yards on 60 carries.
Man, 3rd and 8 already.
3rd down and 8, they go pistol. Martinez is still the running back in the formation. Kenson Spence lined up near the line of scrimmage. Pitch to the left. Martinez has the edge and the first down and more. He's down the sidelines, and they'll say he stepped out of bounds just inside the 25 at the 23. And Crete picks up a monster 3rd down on 3rd and 8.
Big play. Excellent blocking out front there. Who was that, number 51? Julian Mendez. Big time block out on the edge. Also, let's go of his guy before he gets the holding call.
Well, and Andy, you called it. Sometimes the 4th quarter you look to a secondary back, and in this case it's Angel Martinez, 16 yards on that one. His longest carry of the ball game, and it sets up 1st and 10 from the 22.
You saw that burst of speed allowed him to get down the sideline. An opportune spot here for Cesar Linares to re-enter game, the bruising tailback for this Cardinal offense.
And Linares does get the carry here, stiff arm, and run out of bounds quickly, pickup of about 4.
And that doesn't hurt. Both the last 2 plays, the running backs aware of the situation, conserving the clock here, going out of bounds.
That was carry number 20 on the night for Cesar Linares. His 21st will be a new career high in carries per game. 2nd and 6 at the 18. Beatrice led 14-0 until this 4th quarter. Score remained unchanged until there were 11 minutes remaining here in the frame. Martinez a carry here. He's wrapped up by Herfel, and a pickup of maybe a yard.
You know, the type of defenses you can call or you want to call, when you move down the field and it gets into the red zone, you can be a lot more aggressive. A lot of black helmets crowding the line of scrimmage right now, knowing that they don't have a deep field over the top of them to defend.
So it's a third down again. 3rd and 5, inside 3.5 to play here in the fourth quarter. Crete looking to get to their 5th win for the first time in 5 years and get their first win at the House of Orange in a very long time. Snap back to Verton. Throw to the sidelines. Incomplete. Tried to hit Bowling on a post route. Crete wanted a flag. Gavin Vanover in the coverage, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, you heard the roar of the opposing crowd on the other side, picked up by our mics. And it's another situation you got to go for it here. And if you had a lot of faith in your kicker, wind to your back, maybe you kick it here and put it back on your defense. I mean, if you're going for the win in regulation, going to talk it over here.
Boy, oh
Good
boy.
timeout.
Crete is going to call their final timeout with 3:05 remaining in the fourth. They face a 4th and 5, their 3rd 4th down of this possession. We've got the conclusion next on NCN.
Champions are crowned each year in Lincoln. All of us at Visit Lincoln welcome the athletes, families, and fans from across Nebraska to our community. When the final whistle blows and the game ends, make sure to discover how Lincoln can make your stay even more memorable. Stop by the Visitors Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit us on the web at lincoln.org. Visit Lincoln is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
Well, it's a 4th down situation. Here we see another look at that throw to the sidelines to Theo Bowling. A lot of contact, but overall, I think good coverage by Vanover.
I think you're right. And they've been letting that little bit of contact go for both sides all night long. I like when the officials stay consistent.
Big play in this one. Beatrice can sway the momentum in their favor a lot with the stop.
Oh.
The flip is dropped by Logan Bessler, the cruising tight end. Couldn't haul in a floater from Reese Verton, and Beatrice takes over on downs at their own 17 with 3 minutes to go.
Boy, and it was set up. You had the double clutch. It was sold. Looked like Bessler had a little bit of room to work with there, and he knows it. You see the frustration in the young man after he let one slip through his hands.
I think that was a touchdown if he hauls that in, Andy.
You got to think it would have been at least the first down conversion, that's for sure.
Well, Beatrice will take over 1st and 10 at the 17. Game's not over yet, but Crete does not have any timeouts to play with, and they need to go the length of the field to get 7 points. No surprise at all, Maryland eye for the Orangemen, and they start with Reeson, who gets a block on the outside. Slides down at the 20. That'll move the clock.
Just fantastic awareness.
Ortiz.
Fantastic awareness, down in distance, understanding that the clock is their worst enemy here. They want to drain it as fast as possible rather than getting helped out of bounds or pushed out of bounds. Reason goes right down, keeps that clock rolling.
3-yard pickup, 104 yards on 15 carries and a touchdown for Reeson. And, of course, I don't think we have a view of the play clock here, Andy. But Beatrice is darn for sure going to drain this as low as they can.
Yeah, they're going to try and get it within that 5-second mark each and every time and also keep it on the ground. You mentioned Crete had to burn that final timeout on their final offensive drive, and they dialed up a heck of a good play. Oh, man, just unable to connect on the little leak out to the tight end.
1-yard pickup, and it brings up 3rd down and 4 to go. Beatrice's success running the football has lasted all game. Reeson, 17 carries, 105 yards, and a touchdown. Remember that first drive, 5 carries, 65 yards, all in the legs of Reeson. Another carry here, and that was a big hit.
Yeah, it really was. He paid the price for staying upright and trying to move that pile forward. Punting unit comes into the game.
And that was Cale Cook on the carry there for Beatrice. So no gain on the run. And it brings in the punting unit. And Beatrice, again, going to try and drain this down as low as they can. Got to think Crete will maybe have somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 seconds to get down the field.
Put an awful lot of pressure on that offense. It hasn't been able to move the ball very consistently through the air throughout this game. So this is just textbook, really well-coached football being administered by Beatrice here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, it looks like Beatrice is going to take it as low as they can and call a timeout. 4th and 3 coming up for the Orangemen. We're going to keep it right here. 41 seconds remaining. So, yeah, probably about 35 seconds until Crete gets the gets the football.
And another great example of just fantastic coaching, allowing the side official to know, hey, we're going to let this go all the way down to 1 second. I'm in your ear. I'm going to call a timeout right then. And that's what happened. Allowed for maximum clock to get run down to 41 seconds. And we mentioned it, even with punting into the wind here, you're putting a lot of pressure on an offensive unit that has had a tough time, let's call it what it is, moving the football here tonight.
Yeah, Crete has not had an offensive night to remember. You are absolutely correct, Andy.
And I think you got
to neighborhood of 130 total yards.
And you really got to look back at Beatrice and their defensive efforts that they've had. They dialed up a lot of blitzes, a lot of pressures early on. They got home, kind of forced Crete to shift gears, was daring them to pass the ball, and that move was made, maybe into the third quarter, throughout the fourth, and those passes just weren't being completed. We didn't see a lot of connections between receivers and quarterback. It's just been tough sledding really across the board for this Cardinal offense for the most part.
Reese Burton just 3 of 7 through the air. 2 of 12 for the air. That's Crew Mines, who's 3 of 7. Burton, 2 of 12 for 38 yards and a touchdown. And a whistle and a flag.
You're kidding me.
That is a offsides, I believe, on Crete. We haven't seen the call yet, but it looks like that's the signal. That's going to give Beatrice the first down and the win.
It is. I think the rush end was trying to get in there for a block. Oh, a special teams blunder to close out this game here. Beatrice is going to be able to kneel it out for the victory on senior night, pink out, homecoming, you name it. If there was something to be done in Beatrice, it was tonight, and they get the victory against their rival, the Crete Cardinals.
Jeff Keiser, all smiles on the sidelines. This is an Orangeman team that has had a very tough season, Andy. I mean, you could say what you want about they've had injuries, they've had maybe an enrollment in football down, but these kids have worked really hard all year, and only a win against Lincoln Northwest. This is a big win for them, and it really shows their dominance over Crete.
Yeah, well, and we said it at the top of the broadcast in the pregame. Throw all those stats, the records, all that stuff out the window. Rivalry games just seem to bring a little something more to them, regardless of how the two seasons for the various schools have been going, and you saw that here tonight. Beatrice had a lot of fire under them here tonight, and they played throughout that way, made some plays in the second half to secure that victory, didn't hurt themselves in the second half. Remember those turnovers in that first quarter?
Sure.
Putting the ball on the turf, cleaned that up after the break. Here they are walking it off for the victory.
And the homecoming party is on. The handshake line commences. Beatrice picks up their second win of the season. They upset Crete at the House of Orange. Congratulations to the Orangemen. Crete will fall to 4-3. Beatrice improves to 2-6. And Andy, we talked about it. It's been a tough year for Beatrice. This is a good win for them.
Yeah, it really is, and it keeps their playoff hopes alive. And maybe even more than that, it gets that feel-good spot where everybody came out. It was a pink out night, homecoming, senior night. Talked about all those offensive linemen that were seniors. Boy, did they do a fantastic job here tonight.
No doubt about that. Andy will head down to the field. He'll talk with Jeff Keiser and John Reeson. To wrap this one up, we'll take a look at the highlights as well. Orangemen win it 14-7 at the House of Orange.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Schaefer's. We're more than just TVs and appliances. And by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on X at NCN Sports for highlights, interviews, rankings, and more.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Hey there, sports fans. Looking for a winning play to make your game day complete? Look no further than Speedy Mart, your family-owned neighborhood convenience store. Score big with the wide range of snacks, drinks, and fuel for the road that will keep the whole crew cheering. And here's the kicker. Our friendly atmosphere and convenient location make every visit a slam dunk. So rally the family and head to Speedy Mart for the ultimate game day experience.
Driving by on the highway, you'd never guess what this store holds. When you walk in, rest assured this small-town vet supply store has big city selection. There's a good chance if what you're looking for isn't in the back, they can order it for you. Luckily, you'll get the small-town friendly service and knowledgeable sales staff every step of the way. From vaccine help to renting a tux for your son's wedding. See the staff at Valley Vet Supply on Highway 36 in Marysville.
Valley Vet Supply.
Let your next adventure take flight in Sarpy County, Nebraska for some high-flying fun. Legendary family adventures. Out-of-this-world shopping. Star-studded evenings. And award-winning experiences. Our flights are never canceled. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USafe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Crete Public Schools, home of the Cardinals, Ken's USafe Pharmacy in Crete, and by Citibank and Trust, located in Crete, member FDIC.
Beatrice was able to ring the bell here at the House of Orange. They pick up their second win of the season, 14-7 over their rival Crete Cardinals. Let's head down to the field where Andy Klassen is standing by with our player of the game and Beatrice head coach Jeff Keisher.
Thank you, Jake. We're down on the field here with head coach Jeff Keisher. Emotional win, so much on the line. Senior night, the pink out, homecoming, the whole 9 yards. What are your initial thoughts?
You know, I'm just really proud of these boys, especially these seniors. It's been a lot of ups and downs this year, and you know, we were able to finish our last 2 home games with the win, and to send out these guys with their last home game against a big rival of ours.
You mentioned the seniors. That's the first thing I noticed. Those guys up on the offensive and defensive lines, they played their tails off.
They did. They played with a lot of heart and a lot of passion. Says a lot about their character, and we couldn't be more proud about them.
Keeps your playoff hopes alive. What does this type of win, rivalry, let's call it what it is, against the Crete Cardinals, I'm coming to town, you defending home, and everything's still out in front?
Yeah, you know, we can get healthy and keep things going and having fun at practice. I think we can, you know, do a lot of good things. And we got a big kind of old rivalry with Pius next week. And so we're really excited to take that on. But we're going to enjoy tonight. We're going to enjoy this homecoming. And we're going to enjoy these smiles.
What can you tell me about tonight's pair of the game? John Reason, 16 carries, some big plays in that first half. tops the century mark, 116 yards.
John's had a good year for us. He's really stepped up at running back. He bummed his ankle a couple weeks ago and's come back strong, and I think that says a lot about him at running back, and we're excited to have him, and he had a great night for us.
Coach, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's bring in our player of the game, John Reason. 16 carries, 105 yards, touchdown on the game. What enabled you to have such an impact performance here tonight?
My line did an outstanding job. They do every game, and it was a rivalry game. We did what we could against them, and we took it to them. Coaches drew up a really good playbook, and I just executed as best as I could.
You mentioned your offensive line. It's senior night here tonight, among some other things. What was that like performing behind those seniors? Because they were opening some holes up for you.
I love my senior linemen. I love all my seniors, and I just want to give them the best bang we could give them on their last home game and their last game at the House of Orange. And I just wanted to do what I could, and I played for the person beside me. I played for every single lineman out there, so I did what I could.
And what does it mean for you and your teammates to defend the House of Orange against a rival in the Crete Cardinals?
They're one of our biggest rivals, and I love beating them. I love winning, and it keeps our playoff hopes alive, obviously. And good win.
You mentioned keeping the playoff hopes alive. What does this type of win maybe do for you guys' confidence as you move forward throughout the season?
Well, we got to win out, obviously, to make our playoff. And if we win out, I think we got a good shot at beating Pius next week. They lost to Crete 2 weeks ago, and I think we got a good shot at beating them.
John, congratulations on the great performance and the victory here tonight.
Thank you.
All righty, Jake, let's send it back up to you in the booth to wrap this one up.
All righty, thank you, Andy. Thank you to John, and thank you to Coach Keisher. Let's take a look at the highlights from this one. A lot of highlights early, maybe not so many towards the end of the game, but let's take a look at what we had on a calm, cool, crisp evening in southeast Nebraska. There you see the Orangemen taking the field, down in the flag, down in the pink. Beatrice coming in 1-6, Crete at 4-2. Beatrice off a loss last week, Crete off a 30-26 win over Lincoln Pius. Beatrice, of course, losing 63-20 to Norris. We'll see how they respond. Responded well. First drive, 5 plays, 65 yards, all on the legs of John Reason. Caps it off with this 37-yard touchdown run. He talked about that senior offensive line opening a lot of holes up for him right there in that one. Next up, Luke Hamilton. How about a play from a senior on special teams? Angel Martinez punt into the win. Hamilton, 1 missed tackle, 2 missed tackles, 3 missed tackles, gets a block from Gavin Vanover, maybe just one more block away from taking that to the house, but Beatrice would cash in. How about the sophomore getting a little love here? Merrick Johnson to the left side, 6 yards out, tabletops into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the season. Had a tough week last week against Norris. Good touchdown there. How about Crew Mines for his first completion? Looks to his left, Trey Henning tips it to John Reason in stride, full speed, 16 yards. Reese Burton with his first completion of the night on this play. Underneath John Reason, making the catch is Theo Bowling. Boy, it was a debate if that was a completion. Then it was over the middle to Kenson Spence for the first touchdown of the night for Crete. 14-7 the score. That was one of the first plays in the 4th quarter, and then Beatrice trying to get a little extra yardage here, drain some more clock, go for it on 4th down near midfield. Crete would get the stop. To the left side, Angel Martinez, 18-yard run here, sheds a tackler on 3rd and 8, gets the 8 yards he needs, and 10 more. That would get called back as he stepped out of bounds a little earlier. Beatrice would get the stop after that on a drop by Logan Bessler, and the Orangemen win it 14-7 on senior night. Fun night from the House of Orange. Beatrice improves to 2-6, keeps their playoff hopes alive for now. Of course, they need to go to Lincoln Pius next week, pick up a win there, but a big win for Beatrice. Crete falls to 4-3. They are next going to take on Norris, that one at home. Norris beat Beatrice last week 63-20. That'll do it from the House of Orange tonight. Beatrice wins it 14-7. They improve to 2-6. Crete falls to 4-3, and Beatrice continues their domination in the Gage-Saline County rivalry. For Andy Klassen, I'm Jake Bartecki. Big thanks to our entire News Channel Nebraska sports crew, Danny in the truck, Tyler, our director. You guys are A-list #1 pros, and of course all of our great camera crew. We of course appreciate you, the viewer, as well. This has been a production of News Channel Nebraska Sports. Beatrice wins it 14-7. Good night, everybody.